Hey guys, it's GBD, and it's Monday afternoon, and we are live from E3 in Los Angeles. And today, and pretty much probably for every day, I'll be joined by Shipwreck.
Woo!
And first timer E3 virgin, Thorbon 3.
Hello, everybody.
In case you didn't know, Thorbon first worked with Cheap Ass Gamer by putting a question into the CAG bag every week for the CAGcast. Every week for about 5 years, I would think.
Probably.
And now he runs the @VideoGameDeals Twitter account. So this is exciting. Are you excited for your first E3?
Oh yeah, it's pretty fun.
For the show, the show actually hasn't started yet. This is the pre-3.
Yeah.
I think you need some Bethesda lady enthusiasm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can you scream like somebody's stabbing you with a knife, please?
Ah!
Perfect. Now we're excited. So for this audio boot, we're going to talk about the Bethesda conference, we're going to talk about the Microsoft conference, and we're going to talk about EA Play, which is their standalone E3 this year, because they're not on the show floor. So first we'll talk about Bethesda, and Shipwreck attended that conference solo.
I was at an airport. Get stuck with lightning storm. So
Yes.
I barely know anything from it.
I didn't pay much attention either. But I have a list on this computer that will explain it all. But so how was it, Chip?
It was a good conference. I mean, it took forever to get inside. They had line issues. There was a lot of people there. They had it at this. It was called LA Hangar. It's just like a big airplane hangar venue. But they showed Dishonored 2 was like their main focus of the event, I would say, because that's their big game coming out this holiday.
Right. I watched. Hold this for a sec. Yeah, keep talking.
I'm holding his phone, by the way.
The microphone. Yeah, it was not my penis.
Right.
Thorbon's holding that.
So yeah, Dishonored 2, it looked good. I'm a little bit confused. Like they have both the Corvo and Emily, the new playable character. It seems like they're just focusing on Emily so much, and maybe it's just because she's the new one, but they almost don't need Corvo. I think like she's intriguing enough on her own, and her powers are kind of cool with the whole like teleportation and darkness arms.
Right. Well, this way they can avoid people complaining on Twitter that you can't play as a guy anymore. Right.
Who cares? Tomb Raider's fun. I don't know.
Right, but they didn't take out. They didn't
Right, Tomb Raider
remove a guy.
didn't start as a guy.
Right.
Actually, it did, and then the guy got tired of staring at a man's ass, so he changed it to lady.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, in development.
Well, in
it
development.
never, yeah.
Anyway.
Dishonored 2 looks great. I'm looking forward to playing that. They showed quite a bit of gameplay at the very end of their conference.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. Then they had a bunch of add-on stuff. Bethesda's doing a great job of supporting the games that are out there. Like, I think for your $1, Bethesda games probably give you the most content and continued like supportive content of any of the major publishers.
Right.
They seem to just...
Well, you have to buy it, though. You have to buy
Not
it.
always.
No.
But, I mean, they have new Doom stuff. They have new Fallout stuff.
They just put mods on Fallout 4 for Xbox One, which is cool.
Yeah, mods are coming soon to PlayStation 4. They did a lot of Fallout add-ons. They did an amusement park that they showed.
I think that's going to be a quest thing like Far Harbor or the Robot Quest, which were both fun. I played them and beat them.
Cool. What else they have there?
They had Skyrim Special Edition as Cheapy just moves the microphone around. So that's Skyrim up-res for the current gen. It looked nice. I spent so much time in Skyrim that I'm good.
Yeah.
I never played it, so maybe I'll buy it.
There, see?
I guess. I mean, if you've never played Skyrim at this point, I feel like you're probably never going to play Skyrim.
Probably never will, but maybe it'll be a PS Plus game one day. Who knows?
Then they showed Prey. Prey is back. It's not Prey 2, and it's not anything like the Bounty Hunter stuff that they showed probably 5 years ago now.
A long time ago.
Long time ago when they showed it, and it was awesome then. And this looks totally different, but awesome again. It reminded me, like, I had to keep thinking, like, wait, is this Dead Space? Because a lot of it seemed very Dead Space
There were no Indians in the game.
No Native Americans.
Or Native Americans.
Right. Neither of those nationalities or races.
I just find it odd that they call it Prey, just because, like, the first game wasn't like, there's no hardcore Prey fans, are there? Like, for the original 360? Like, do you know if, like...
I doubt it. It seems
Prey
unlikely.
was pretty awesome.
Oh, it was? Okay.
But I don't know that there's, like...
It's a long time
fan
ago.
base. Yeah. Prey had the vagina doors. It had pretty good shooing in that game.
Yeah, it was a good game. I finished
It had
it.
the jukebox you could mess around with.
Yeah, it had a lot going for it.
But this looks good. It looks like it's a long way off.
Right, for sure.
I think they said 2017, but even that seemed soon for this game. Let's see, what else did they had? There was some Elder Scrolls Online stuff, which a lady was very excited about in their press conference.
Ah! Help me!
And I guess they opened up with Quake Champions. That was right at the beginning, which they didn't really show a lot. They're going to show more at QuakeCon, but it's more Overwatch type, like where you have characters that have certain skills, it looks like.
Right. Somewhere between Overwatch and Team Fortress, maybe.
Yeah, you could kind of feel like everybody got really excited when Quake came on the screen, and then it like filled in the bottom where it said Champions, and you kind of felt the room go, wait a second.
Wait, is this a card game or a MOBA or a multiple heroes? I guess what do you call that? Like a heroes FPS? Like an Overwatch?
Yeah, it seems like a good description. They did have a Legends as well. They did have their card game, which was the Elder Scroll card game, which looks like Hearthstone with 2 lanes.
That's when I lay down on my bed when they show that.
It looked fine. I don't know how many of these card games we need.
It's a lot of card games. I'm guessing the answer to that question, by the way, is 1, and it's called Hearthstone.
And it's already out.
Right. But we'll see.
Gwent might do well.
You could, yeah. They're not that expensive to put these games together, probably. I'm sure they can do okay.
Yeah, I'm sure this Elder Scrolls game is going to do fine as well. But that was pretty much it. They had a big area where you could try the Fallout 4 VR, which they announced. And they had a couple other games you could try, but it was so crowded in there that I didn't get in line.
And no Blink 182.
Right, Blink-182 came on right after I left.
And you didn't get a free shirt because you had to wait till Blink-182 was done?
Yeah, that was that as we were.
Nobody leave before Blink 182 comes on.
Right, that was a weird requirement. So Wombat did not get his shirt. But honestly, I would have kept the shirt anyways.
Oh snap! Well, you'd have to work very hard for it. You had to
Right.
sit through a Blink 182 concert. They also announced Doom and Fallout 4 for VR, but coming out next year for the HTC Vive. But
and
what?
The Xbox One
Scorpio?
something.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't. A game like Fallout, I don't know how you play that in VR and not have to take the helmet off every 15 minutes because you're gonna die. But who knows?
And it's not a game that was specifically made for VR to begin with.
So, yeah, I wonder what these games, how they come out looking, if that's the case.
I'm sure it's interesting. I don't know. There was a line to try it.
I'm sure. Anything else from Bethesda?
No.
Okay. Microsoft. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's all Xbox One, Windows 10. I thought we were at a Windows 10 conference. It seemed like it was all...
That's fine for me. I mean, a lot of people were down on that and stop talking about Windows 10. Why is this just not 100% Xbox? But why can't it be both? What's the big deal if it's both?
I don't know. I bought an Xbox One to play Xbox.
But they're on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's just because it's on the PC also. Why does that affect you? Because I see a lot of people on Twitter who were complaining.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just you want to have value for what you paid for, and you feel a little bit gypped.
Well,
I don't know why.
That may not be a rational reason why people think that way.
Yeah.
Especially when you buy, it's got cross-buy.
Yeah, only digital. Isn't that what you said?
Only digital.
Only digital. They don't have a way for you to cross-buy
Right.
when you buy a retail version.
Right.
So-
They would have been able to if with their original vision, I bet, of
So I'm sure in the future I'm going to be seeing a bunch of, I don't know if I want to get this physical. I kind of want both versions, and I'll hear that. I'll see that a lot in the replies.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen, you're not going to play both versions. Let's be honest. What is the market for somebody who starts playing on Xbox One to then switch over to their desktop and then switch back over to the Xbox One version? It's a great thing to have.
and to say that you can do it.
Say you can do it, great. And it's the interesting part is being able to play against people across platforms. That's the interesting place.
I mean, do you want me to come up with a real world example of that, where you would use that, where I would use it?
yeah.
Okay.
You yourself.
Me myself. So Forza Horizon 3 is coming out. Look how I segue into Forza Horizon 3. It's also cross. What do they call it? Play Anywhere. Xbox Play Anywhere. That's the name.
Yeah.
So I could see a situation where I'm playing on my PC, where I'm assuming it's going to run better and look better. But also, like, Ty might want to play and have access to all my cars that I've unlocked. And he's not going to play on my PC. He's going to play on the TV.
All right.
That's fine.
So it's good. I win.
There's applications for it.
Right.
I agree, but it's not
It's not that exciting for most
it's not
people.
that exciting, and it's
No.
not.
I kept hearing go play it on the go, and it's like,
It's not that.
no, exactly.
It's not like an iPhone app or something that where you can access your Xbox games and sort of play it through there.
It was a strange conceit to build a whole conference around. Like they just kept on coming back to it over and over again.
Well, there's not that many exclusives anymore. I mean, they have a bunch, but I think, industry wide, there's just not that many anymore because as games get more and more expensive to produce, you're going to see less and less of those. So you got to post something, some sort of exclusive feature. And if you're Microsoft, what else can you do? I mean, you have this Windows 10 thing. There are a lot of PC gamers out there. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm getting to play Forza Horizon. That looked amazing.
I just feel that people are going to buy less Xbox Ones if they have a ultra, if they have a good PC.
But not that many people. I mean, the PC market's way smaller. So
It is.
it's really small. And just like you said, you're afraid like you're not getting value out of your Xbox. But the reality is you're going to pay $300 or $400 for an Xbox. And to buy a PC, you're going to spend a lot more. And okay, it's going to look better.
Yeah.
But it's not that doesn't say that you're not getting less value. You paid less money.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like it seems fair. Nobody's stealing from you, Ship. Don't be sad.
I'm not sad. It just doesn't. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give me a reason like to buy digital. Really,
Okay.
I don't need it on my PC.
I do.
Okay.
Especially
You're
Forza.
not
for
a
you.
collector or anything.
No, I don't care.
Like I'm a video game collector, and I'm pretty sure Shipwreck is a video game collector. So
Well, he just likes to buy them at Best Buy and get the 20% off and
Right. You're basically paying.
20%
You're paying
More.
20% more to get the PC version of it.
right at launch.
Right.
But I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And Forza looked amazing. And
Forza did look awesome.
Everybody, that place went crazy when they saw
all
that.
I kept hearing was GPG going, "Wow, wow, 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 wow."
I have Tourette's, by the way. I forgot to tell you.
No, it's in Australia now.
Yeah, beautiful.
The environments seem a lot more varied than the last Forza Horizon game.
No car came down.
No car came down from the ceiling, unfortunately, or fortunately. Sort of a waste of time and money. But and it's coming out the end of September, which is awesome.
Did we talk about the Xbox One Slim?
Nope. The Xbox One S.
Sorry, the S. Yes, the console that everybody was excited about when the conference began.
So crazy. But that's cool. I don't know.
And then got replaced at the end of the conference. And one more thing, we are not supporting that thing, or we are supporting it, but we have
Only
a
for a
better
year.
one.
1 year. You got a year.
They say no one's left behind, but the truth of the matter is you're going to want the better console.
Well, but that doesn't mean you're not left. You're leaving people behind. I mean, you're just gonna feel. Well, I mean, just because you want to get something that's better doesn't mean that you're leaving people behind. The option is there. Yeah,
It's not that far off from saying like when the Xbox One came out that it wasn't leaving the 360 behind.
Yeah.
Like the games work across.
Really,
the whole
I don't know about that.
It feels like when they came out with the NES top loader or this Junior Super Nintendo. When they come out with the second models like late in the run and like the next console just around the corner, and it was literally like 15 minutes later. You know, I don't.
Right. I don't know, but the games are the consoles are going to be the same, and the features are going to be the same. It's not a console transition. I mean, think about going from Xbox 360 to Xbox One. How much shit we lost along the way. Not the games.
Oh well, yeah. From this point forward, the idea is for both Sony and Microsoft to be platforms where you get to keep your games, which is how it should have been
For a long time
for a
ago.
long time. But we're getting to that point now.
Right.
But I'm just thinking, at some point, you're leaving the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One behind.
The original, or what about the Xbox One S? I mean,
you're
that
leaving,
too.
You're leaving both of those
At
behind.
some point. At some point.
Yeah.
Because you said 6 teraflops is a huge. Like the current Xbox One has 1 point what?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's 1 point something. This is like a 6 or not 6 times, but like a
Almost.
4 time
Yeah.
improvement.
Eventually, there's going to be some publisher or something where they make a console game, or they make a really like good PC game, and then they're like, we can't port this over to the Xbox One, but it works on Scorpio. Can we just
You
release
can
it?
always do it though. Look at a PC. You can always make it look. You change the resolution. You change.
To a point.
Up to a point.
No, not up to a point. You can go far. You can go pretty far. You ever see you can dial that shit back pretty far. And if it's all this shit is basically running on Windows 10 anyway, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I don't. I mean, there's one thing about making people feel bad that they don't have the latest and greatest, but does that mean you stop coming out with new products? I don't.
I just think Scorpio is probably the next console, and they'll eventually like discount Scorpio and then sort of phase out Xbox One.
Do you think there's going to be another? This guy. I don't.
I mean, the platform is Xbox.
Yeah.
The Xbox One is just.
Everything is going to be backwards compatible from now on, and they'll just come out with these incremental upgrades like a phone. I think. I don't know. I don't see some doom and gloom in that.
There's not. It's just it doesn't give people a lot of reason to buy these slim.
Okay. That I'll agree with. It does look nice. I like the design of it.
And
I guess.
Are you gonna get it though?
I don't know. It might look weird in my thing.
The Xbox One's been out since 2013, so it's been 3 years, like give or take. It's been out on the market.
Is that when it came out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 3 years old this year.
This November.
And usually systems. Last generation was a weird one, but it's usually 5 years around that time. GameCube was like 5 years. Nintendo 64 was 5 years. Super Nintendo.
But they're getting longer and longer. That's a long time ago. That stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
But I think we might just be going back to that, where like every 3. I think just like every 3 or 4 years, that's what they're just.
But they're not starting. The big difference is they're not starting over. Yeah. They're just adding more hardware. They're just increasing the hardware, the GPU, and that shit, and that way you don't wreck the whole fucking console with every cycle like has been going on.
Like iPhone games get taken off the market and stuff because they're no longer compatible with.
Sure.
Oh well, stuff like that will happen, and you'll lose licensed games and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's a move in the right direction. It was just kind of a puzzling move at the same time
to show them both. Hey, it got the people really excited there. People
I honestly think they announced the Scorpio because they wanted to get out in front of Sony. And I don't think they needed to announce the Scorpio in this press conference.
No.
It seemed like it was tacked on at the end.
You think so? You mean because to force Sony to talk about it? Did Sony say they're not talking about it at E3? I forgot.
They said they're not.
They're not. Just nothing. They didn't say any hardware.
The other thing I thought was weird about Scorpio is they said the developers requested it. It's what the developers and the fans want is Scorpio, which I thought was a little.
Well, yeah. You're getting a PR. You gotta dust off the PR. But that's okay. What else we got here? We talked about Play Anywhere. Oh, Recore. They showed some gameplay for Recore.
So that's a $40 game?
Yeah, it came out that's a $40 game. I'm interested in that game. They didn't show a whole lot more than what they did last year, really. Yeah. Last year they showed the concept of you taking the orb and putting them into different constructs.
I think Armature's working on it. They're in Austin. They're Metroid Prime people, which is why it kind of looks a little bit like Metroid Prime, the art design. They're nice people. I've met them at PAX South. But yeah.
What else? Killer Instinct stuff. Let's see. More Division stuff. What else? There's a Xbox. The customizable Xbox One controllers looked very cool, but we need the Elite versions of these.
Yeah, they didn't really show whether or not they were Elite or not. People might know that at this point, but all they showed was the normal controllers.
And they have, and there's a new controller anyway with the Xbox One S. It just has Bluetooth, and like texture.
It said wider range, so I guess you can play farther away. So then 4K doesn't matter.
4K doesn't really matter anyway. If you're like,
I think wider range is probably just something that came along for the ride.
right.
They could just put that on there because I've never had issue with the range.
It's pretty far that
Right,
range. It's like 50 feet or something.
Right.
This one has Bluetooth now.
It's got the grips in the back.
And
it's got like grippiness.
Grippies.
The current, like their second, I guess we'll call it second generation, has grips. So.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. The 3.5 millimeter.
Right, that version.
Those have grips on it. So.
Minecraft. There's a lot of Minecraft news. Cross-platform play on Minecraft. Things that Ty would be very excited for, and some mods. Add-ons that they're calling, which basically are like PC mods, I guess, that swap out the characters. Dead Rising 4 trailer, which got a great reception.
That looked awesome.
Yeah.
That looked fun.
They dropped snow on the Xbox people, the clappers.
Yeah, the clappers, right? The fan fest people. Yeah, it was a good trailer. Definitely got people very excited about that.
I'm glad Frank West is back. You know, he's covered wars, so
we need him in this difficult time. What else? We got Scalebound. I didn't know really what was going on there, but the graphics look good, and it looked like Monster Hunter. Is it Monster Hunter?
It's what it looked like.
Yeah.
There was numbers flying everywhere. There were Japanese characters saying things that Japanese characters say.
it feels like a game that's on the wrong platform. It looks like something you would find on a PS4 or something, but because like the Xbox One. You know, Xbox has never been big in Japan, so maybe this is another one of their. Well, maybe they'll buy one. You know, I don't.
Yeah, they've given up on Japan, but
I don't think that's what they're thinking on this one too much.
Right.
But this is the platinum game, but it does not look
Is it
like.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. This is platinum, but
Yeah,
this is not a typical like light
not
melee,
Bayonetta.
heavy melee
Right.
platinum game. This is
Monster Hunter. Platinum.
this is you hit a big monster until all the numbers come out.
Speaking of big monsters, they showed Final Fantasy 15 where they fought another giant monster, and they wore the. I don't know about that game. I don't know. I'll pick it.
People didn't like it on Twitter.
Oh, really? They didn't like it on Twitter.
I didn't like it in person. Also, I did not like it in Twitter. I had the full gamut covered of not liking this game.
Well,
like visually. Like,
It looks great. Yeah.
yeah, it looks fantastic. Like as far as like that big Titan or whatever that was like throwing his arm down.
I just
But
don't know.
man,
The combat was a little confusing. Like I didn't. It was warped.
you
and
might have been
blocky.
confused. It looked like the person playing it was more confused about what was going on. I mean, he just constantly kept getting hit by this thing. It didn't look like there was a really good way to dodge. The hit detection was, again, very Japanese in that you just hit stuff and like there's a power bar or a health bar or whatever, but you don't really see that you're doing anything. I don't know. That looked rough.
When is that coming out?
This fall, I think.
Yeah, it's soon. It's soon. Like a bunch of games are September.
They showed State of Decay 2. It's just like I don't know. Is there any gameplay
Yeah,
on that?
I know a couple of people were really happy when they saw that car hood, and I was like, huh? Like I bought it for like $12 on GameFly.
It doesn't look like that. I had that game too. It doesn't look like that. The one
Yeah,
they showed.
I think
It's pretty different.
I think they're putting in AAA effort for State of Decay.
Cool.
So
Halo Wars 2 had a cool trailer.
They showed some gameplay too, but the video was great. It has nothing to do with the game.
No.
yeah,
But the video was great. But then they did show the actual gameplay video, and it looked a lot like the scale was much larger than what Halo Wars
is that
was.
coming out this year? Halo Wars 2?
No, that's February.
Oh, that's weird. So this year will be a Halo less year. Like there's no Halo game this year.
Weren't they? Maybe not. I thought they were thinking about one of the Halos having an anniversary coming up, and they were going to put out an anniversary edition of it, but I don't know which one that was.
Because
It's an anniversary for Halo every year, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, there's a Halo game every year for the longest time. It was Halo 5, then Halo Collection, Halo Spartan, Assault, Halo blah blah. Like every year they always have a Halo game, so it's surprising there won't be a Halo game this year. If that's the case.
It's a Gears year.
Yeah,
Which they showed Gears. It has wind now.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like something I'll play, but it was not something. Nothing in that trailer made me very excited.
Didn't grab my.
I just wish they paid Laura Bailey more so she would take less acting jobs because she's in every video game ever. She's the female Troy Baker. I don't know if you know that. Do you know who Troy Baker is?
Yeah.
She's
in every game.
She's in every game. Go look her up on IMDb.
It's just crazy long.
And you'll be like, wow, she's in all my games.
Just one woman doing all the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, they closed out the conference with the Scorpio announcement, and people were very excited, except Shipwreck
And me.
and Thor.
I'm not excited.
Oops, now I just. Oh, then we went. So then today,
I'm excited for Scorpio.
You are excited, right?
Yeah, no, I'm all over Scorpio. I just think that they're sending a message that isn't
genuine.
They have to say
it's for everyone. Go buy the Slim. Right.
I'm not saying I'm not buying a Slim as well.
Right.
But
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it was a confusing message overall.
I think you're just supposed to say, "Wow, look at all this shit I'm supposed to buy," and not think about it too much.
That's fine.
Which you're good at too.
I'll do that.
And we went to EA Play this afternoon.
Yeah, so EA ditched their booth, which is great because their booth was always just like lines and
it was right by the entrance of one of the big halls.
And they're right next to our hotel here. They rented out. I guess it's probably like a nightclub space.
Yeah.
Oh, the Novo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. There's plenty of room. The lines aren't bad. I mean, we went up. We played Madden. Cheapy played NHL. We played Titanfall 2.
There's no lines for anything. It was like they only had like 4 setups for NHL, and the guy's just like, "You want to play?" And it's like, "Okay."
To be clear, there's never any lines for an NHL.
Right, that's not true. I remember at the booth there was a line, and like I couldn't even get inside to look at it. I asked the guy even if I could just get in to watch somebody play, and they said no. So this is much better than their booth. Very comfortable in there. NHL, I played Thor in NHL, and he's never played before, and I scored a lot of goals on him really quickly, and then I walked away as champion. They said this year, the big change this year is, he's like, the controls are tighter this year. It doesn't feel like you're skating through mud anymore, which is an interesting way to talk about your game from last year, but it seemed good. It seemed fun. Right. It's that seemed cool. We played Titanfall 2. Which seemed like quite a nice improvement over the first
The
one.
grappling hook's huge because you don't have to worry about your jumps as much. You can, I mean, it still has... You can correct easier. It's much easier. It's not frustrating to get around. You can always just shoot the grappling hook up and hook onto something and jump. And you can use the grappling hook also to kind of boost. You can do a grappling hook and then use your little jetpack boost, and it makes you go really fast. It's fun.
You liked it, Thor?
Oh yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked the first one. When I first started playing, whoever played before me put left stick on left and inverted and everything, so I didn't know what was going on.
That was the other team trying to fuck us up.
Yeah.
But we beat them.
Yeah, but the guy fixed it for me, and then I had fun playing the game. I was like, oh no, it glitched.
It's pretty cool. It's I don't know like what the big differences were besides the grappling hook.
I noticed grunts aren't just like paper mache. Like they will kill you now. Is what it seemed like. That could be completely different when you actually play the game.
I haven't played it in a long time. Were there specters before or just grunts?
I can't remember.
There were grunts.
Only grunts?
There were grunts. There were grunts and inspectors.
Oh, inspectors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the specters from last time, but they were just super grunts basically. But yeah, it was. It looks great. We were playing on PS4, so that was interesting because the last game was an Xbox exclusive. So they seem to be very happy to be on PS4 this time around.
Sure. They have how many? 45 million or something?
Yeah. So I and they have a campaign. We didn't play any of the campaign, but I think this will do much better this time around.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a better product this time than it was. I'm
pretty good at that game, so I hope it has legs.
Cool. Cool. Humble brag. Then we waited on a very short line to do a meet and greet with Todd McFarlane and get a poster signed, which was very fun. He was very nice, chatting up everybody, like totally happy to be there.
I got an extra poster for the CAG Twitter for a contest. So.
Yep. So start following at Video Game Deals now, because
I'll put that
poster.
on Twitter later. But yeah, he was I was like, hey, CAG or whatever, 130, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. And Todd goes, this guy's an influencer, huh? Okay.
Yeah, he was really cool. It was really fun. He was really fun. He was having a good time. I wonder if he's going to still be like that after doing this for 3 days. But Wombat, we got you a poster. I got you my poster. Anything else at EA? Was that it? We watched a little bit about the Madden Championship, which they have up on a big screen in the theater there, and they have 2 guys doing play-by-play, live play-by-play while these guys are playing Madden, just like if it was a real NFL broadcast. And it's pretty weird to see that, but it was cool.
If you live in the downtown LA area and you see that it's not too crowded, you should definitely go.
Yeah, you can just register right there, right on site.
I don't know about E3 Live, though. That's the size of a basketball court. So
yeah, that's in the square at LA Live, and it looks really small. That's the one that's being thrown by the people who throw E3, and this is open to the public. But there's only like 5 or 6 booths or something. It's
small.
It's small.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is there. There was a Vive booth. Twitch, Titanfall, I'm assuming is there because there's a giant Titanfall robot. And just a couple other things. Not a ton.
It's right next to EA Play, so I think what they're kind of hoping is that someone goes to E3 Live and then they go over to EA Play and then vice versa.
Yeah, I feel like. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't really comment on it until I see it up and running. It's not fully built yet. I guess it opens tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to see if more companies do this EA Play type of thing. Because this seems like the way to go.
It seems very civilized, I guess.
It's civilized. You have trapped everybody in your environment.
And you can literally, they're tracking you throughout the whole thing. They give you, when you register, they have your name and address and email. Then they give you a bracelet with a radio tag in it. And anytime you go to play a game, they zap your bracelet so they know who's played what. And they can email you shit after. I think there was something that they were going to take your picture and then email it. We didn't do the
picture this time. We went past. But yeah, you could get your picture taken different places and then they would email you the pictures. It just seems like...
They control the information now.
It seems like it's money better spent to do that.
Yeah. And I bought an NHL t-shirt. Like
Pixel.
A Pixel, yeah, classic 8-bit, 16-bit. Yeah, with it was Make 'em Bleed, guy laid out on the ice. All right, so we're going to go to the Sony conference later tonight. And then I'm going to go to the Microsoft software thing. Oh, that's all tonight, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we'll do one more maybe today of these Audiobooms. Yeah.
You think you'll get an Xbox Slim there?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Because when they gave it away the other time, it was at the actual conference. Yeah. And they didn't they don't actually give you one. They just mail it to you.
Oh, that's nice because you don't have to put in your...
Yeah. So I don't think that's... And this is like a party that you can show up at from a certain time to certain time. I don't think they're going to do that. Okay. So thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Wombat, and I just wanted to give a couple of quick thoughts on yesterday and all the press conferences. And I guess I'll touch a little bit on the ones from Sunday too, because I forgot that those happened already. I did watch the Bethesda one, and that looked pretty cool, I guess, in the sense that I'm interested in Dishonored 2, and I'm interested in Nuka-Cola World for Fallout. That looks fun. And remastered Skyrim. So yeah, I guess I am interested in all of those things. I don't know how much I want to play those things on day one, but I will definitely check them out. Especially the remastered Skyrim, which is pretty sad that was the most exciting thing from that conference, was a game that I already played through twice. Let's see, there was Microsoft, and it's funny because the more I think about the Microsoft press conference, the less I remember from it. which I don't know if that's just me getting old or just the way it is. There was Gears of War is something that's coming out. I don't know. I mean, I really like the first Gears of War, but I don't know if it's something that really excites me that much anymore. I don't know that many people that are that excited about Gears of War. If you are, let me know, because it would be good to know that there are still people out there that are really excited about this. What else did they show? Sea of Thieves actually looks kind of cool. I'll say that. I like the pirate games in general, so that might be something. I feel like there wasn't anything big or revelatory from that press conference. Maybe there were just too many things leaked ahead of time. I honestly don't know. It was fine, I guess, is really where I'm going with this. There was nothing bad about it, other than I don't know why anyone would buy the slim Xbox if you know that there's another one coming out very soon that's going to be better. That seems such a weird decision. I heard some people talk about the reasons why. Maybe that the Slim might be cheaper to produce than the current one. So since they're going to be producing something, they might as well be producing a cheaper unit until the new one comes out, which I guess makes sense. But that's really all I have. We Happy Few. That also looks really cool. So I'll give that one looks good. It still would be nice if they had an easier way to find the ID at Xbox games. I feel like they spent a lot of time talking about that, but they're still sort of buried in there in the store. You know, I understand that they want to treat it like they're not separate from AAA games or games that have retail releases in stores, but they should separate them because it makes sense and it's smart. Other than that, let's see what else. I watched some of the Ubisoft thing. They're still trying to get people to play The Division. I need to finish that game at some point. Maybe I will. I should download those costumes at least. I want a Splinter Cell costume. Who doesn't want a Splinter Cell costume? Everyone does. This is really hard when you're doing it by yourself. I feel like I'm talking too fast. What else? What else was there at Ubisoft? There were other games too, and I was like, oh, those look good, and I don't remember any of them. I also had to leave in the middle of that to take my daughter to the dentist. She's fine. Then we'll just move right ahead to Sony then. Sony was, as presentation goes, it was the best presentation. The live orchestra is one thing, but the fact that they had no one come on stage to talk about how long and hard they worked on the game before showing the game. I know that everyone likes to talk about how hard they work on what they do. I work very hard myself, but no one cares. No one cares. No one cares about what you have to say. They only want to see your game. And Sony got that, and they showed that, and I was impressed, and I appreciated it. I also appreciated Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man. I'm excited for that. Whenever that comes out, probably when I'm about 35. I wish I was still. When I'm about 45 years old. But that looks cool. Now, I have a feeling that might be holiday next year would be my guess. Unless they announced it. Resident Evil 7. I have to download that demo because I'm home and can do that. I'll probably download that and maybe I'll do an audio boo on that. If I'm really good, maybe I'll even... Can I Twitch stream that? Maybe I will. Who knows? We'll see how much time I have. I really, open world zombie biker game. Sure, why not? The Last Guardian, still not all that interested in. But it was pretty chock full of games. And a lot of stuff that they showed is coming out soon. There was less VR than I thought there was going to be, but it was definitely there. I don't know how I feel about all that. Batman VR is a cool idea, but I don't, it's not going to get me to spend $300. So there you go. That's day one for me in 5 minutes and 7 seconds. So thanks a lot, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, and follow me on Twitter at New Wombat, but if you're listening to this, you probably do. Bye.
Hey guys, it's GPD, and it is officially day one of E3. It is Tuesday morning, and today's the first official day of the show, and I'm here with Thorban.
Hello, everyone.
And Shipwreck.
Hi.
Today, or for this audio boo, we're going to be talking about the Sony press conference. and the Microsoft Software Showcase that took place. Oh, and the VR Showcase after the press conference, and the Microsoft Software Showcase that was later that evening. So let's kick it off with the Sony press conference. What was the first thing that
God of War was first?
was first, right?
Yeah.
And that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. First of all, like the live orchestra and the Disney like projections, like when you're there, I don't know if you saw it like on during the people at home saw it, but the screen showed like, gameplay and everything, but everything surrounding it was like atmospheric to the game, and they projected stuff. Kind of, you probably saw it like when Kojima walked down and things like that. But
And he messed up and like went too fast
Yeah.
and fell into the void.
yeah, but
That was cool.
That was cool technology, and I really liked that a lot.
It was a good show, I thought. Like, just as for entertainment value, it was a very tight, well put together show.
Yeah.
But God of War and Son looks good.
Yeah.
So it's like Tomb Raider now, I guess.
I guess. It's been a long time since we've had God of War, but at the same time, I still feel like I might be burnt out on God of War.
No, it looks so different
He's so
though.
angry.
No, but he almost you saw he almost put his arm around the boy.
Right.
Almost.
Almost.
So maybe by the end he does.
Before he dies.
I've never.
Is this? So I'm so confused at the timeline of this. So this is a prequel.
He looked older.
He looked older.
Kratos.
Yeah,
and he's got all of his God of War makeup.
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't put that on every morning.
Who knows? But then he didn't have his chains. He's just got like an axe now.
He's retired.
A magic axe. I'm just a little bit confused at what the storyline is on that one, but it looked amazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't so brutal killing things in that, but I don't know. It's just a little bit. I don't know what the word is, but just like watching him take down another creature is lost some of the magic for me at this point.
I played the first God of War game for the first half hour, and he was such a douche. I just stopped playing it. He threw that guy down the Hydra neck thing, and
Wow, this really affected you. You remember?
I was like, man, this guy's a douche. I just stopped playing it and sold it off, but he seemed like a chill guy there, so. And
Chill Kratos.
He chilled out a little bit.
yeah.
Somewhat. It was it always felt like he was 30 seconds away from just murdering this kid as well.
Right.
If there's a puzzle involved where he needs to get across and a small child will stop a gear or
He just throw him in there.
Right, he'll just throw him in there, no problem.
Right. Use him as a grappling hook. whatever.
Right.
But
The experience stuff was what interests me there. Because you were gaining experience for the kid, it seemed like.
Maybe.
He was learning how to do archery, and it was showing at the bottom that he gained his archery experience, which is interesting if you are somehow training this kid and then you play as the kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it looked like a game that I'll probably pick up when it's, I'm cheap ass gamer, so I'll pick it up when it's $23 at Best Buy, and all that. But yeah, and I like the Norse mythology because, my name's Thorbjorn and all that. So
It looked good. I think I finished all the God of War games. The main
I
ones.
played all of them.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah.
I just.
I'll totally play it.
It's gonna be a while
It's
though,
just
right?
it's hard to get I can't get super pumped for God of War.
I'm pumped, but I think it's far away, right?
I do too. Yeah, I think it's out there.
Okay, so there were a lot of things that Sony showed that got a huge response from the crowd, pretty huge responses. Horizon they showed, which is looking really good. I thought.
Yeah,
Right?
It looks really good.
It looks like a Zelda killer. That looks
Right.
what I imagined Zelda being in 2016 or
what you
2017.
want it to be.
Right. I think that game, it's a little bit daunting, the overworld, the map and everything. They kept on going back to the map, and it's oh, there's gonna be a lot of icons here to grab, I bet, when this thing comes out.
They're gonna Ubisoft it up.
Yeah, why not? It looks gorgeous though, and
It reminded me of Shadows of Mordor, where you would tame a beast and then ride it and things like that. So
I like the art design of the robot dinosaurs or whatever they are. It's cool. I like it. I'm looking forward to that. They showed this game called, let's see, well, I'll just go on this from this list from GameStop. They showed The Last Guardian, which got a huge fucking response.
I cried. So
Thorban cried. That is, I mean, what more do you have to say? I'd like to make fun of you, but I cried at the end of Eco, so I guess I can't
really?
Yeah, I did.
just Eco and Shadow of the Colossus are like two of my favorite games, and it's been a long time since. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus was 2004, so it's 12.
Yeah, it's
13.
been a minute.
It's been a long time since you've played a game from those guys, and
Unless you played the remastered version.
yeah, but
And it's coming out in October, right?
yeah, October. So, and I pre-ordered the cool statue version for $96 on Amazon. So
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it looked a lot better than last time. I remember the last time they showed it was pretty rough, and I thought it still had a few like rough-looking parts. Like it was uneven. Like some of it looked really good, and then the boy, like the graphics of the boy character, it just. I know
a light bloom effect.
Yeah, they were going for some artistic style there, but it
I
looked.
think they have to go for some artistic style just because they've been working on this game for so long, and the graphics are not great.
They're not up to maybe what you would expect.
But it did look much better than it did last year.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll do very well.
Yes. They also showed Kojima. They had Kojima come out and tease his new game called
that was so pimp.
Death Stranding.
That was so pimp. How they
Which,
introduced.
with the floor,
Yeah,
the tile
the floor,
floor
it's like,
projection.
I'm back, bitches.
Right.
Thought you got the
And people are like just in awe of this guy. I mean, they would come and kiss his feet, I think.
Right. I guess to me he never went away. Really. Like I know the whole Konami thing, but it's not like he was on the moon or something. Like
Well, he wasn't able to come last year, right? Wasn't he supposed to show up for something?
Yeah, for the Keeley thing, and then they nixed it. That was for the video game
Video
awards.
Game Awards in December.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah,
I'm getting
so,
everything
I'm
confused.
Pretty sure he was here last year at E3. I don't
Yeah, maybe.
But handprints. There's a lot of handprints in the sand.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know
That
what I
game
just saw.
is way far away.
Yeah, see you in 2020.
Right.
It looks weird as shit, but like I'm down for the ride.
Sure, it looks like a crazy acid trip.
I'm more, if you try something different, I like it better if you like try something different than like you're saying God of War, like they're trying something a little bit different than.
You don't want another Metal Gear game with Cobra instead of
No,
Snake.
yeah,
right? Like-
exactly.
Oh, you do? Cobra.
Right. You had me there.
Okay, get on that, Kojima. Make a G.I. Joe game. Yeah, and Death Stranding. Well, can't this guy just use a word that exists for his?
Stranding is
But not
like it's a weird phrase.
Yeah, it doesn't exist in that context, right? Can death be stranding?
I find a lot of these Sony games seem to have phrases that are not complete. They've just like taken.
Is stranding a word? Like, use that in a sentence. Use the word stranding.
You're stranding me on a desert island.
Okay. You're stranded. Yeah, but when would you ever use that? I've been stranded.
Right.
And I loved it when they,
I got nothing.
I loved it when they showed Norman Reedus. So it's like, oh, cool, he's back from the grave.
I didn't know who that was, by the way.
Norman
Yeah,
Reedus
I know.
was the
Walking Dead
PT guy. Yeah.
Oh, he was supposed
Oh,
to.
he was in PTs.
Yeah.
I find it a little bit weird still when I just see an actor and all I can see is the actor
Oh, okay.
in a game.
in a game.
Yeah.
No, he was the big reveal in PT. You saw his face, you went, oh shit, and then it said Silent Hills when you beat the game.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was a big moment.
I had to delete that off my PS4. It was gonna fuck me up.
You'll never be able to play it
That's
again.
good. That's what I wanted. I was afraid that by accident I might launch it and it would scare me.
I still have it on mine.
Oh man, I was like, "Fuck this!" I played that for 5 minutes, and then when I heard like that baby crying, I think I unplugged the PS4 from the wall. Okay, so they showed Final Fantasy 15.
Not a lot of response for that.
Yeah, people were confused,
Well,
sort of.
people just saw it at the Xbox One, and there was a giant event like a couple months ago in LA where it was 4 hours of Final Fantasy 15. So I think people are just ready for it to be out.
Enough already. Just get it out.
Just get it out, please. I want to play it. It's at the point now where they just
Are they still saying I want to play it?
yeah. People are still saying that.
They showed the new Quantic Dream game called Detroit Become Human.
I like, his games are flawed, but I like different stuff, and he does different stuff, so I like, this pick your own choices and investigating, and
He kind of does the same stuff, though.
yeah, but
Like it's not like his games have ever differed from this different.
the stories are very different and weird, though, to me.
But you're still doing, it seems like in this one, so you're a android, I guess?
Yeah.
And you're a police or hostage negotiator,
Yeah.
or you're somewhat involved in the police, but it seems like you'll be doing investigations also, like the other games.
Right, like the other games.
The weird part, though, is this was the first time he ever showed up in Detroit, this character. Like, before, it was all this woman that was walking around the streets of Detroit, and, like, she didn't want to be, she's an android, and she was self-aware, and...
The last game, you mean?
No, the last trailer. Like,
was there another trailer for
Yeah,
this? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's been in development for a while.
Oh, I missed it.
so I don't know if it's just, like... I'm sure they already, we're in E3 land, we don't... But I'm
It could be more information.
more information, but I think maybe it's just like Heavy Rain. You followed a lot of different people.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah,
Well, cool.
That's what screwed up the story of Heavy Rain.
I gave up pretty quickly.
Well, it just lost the story arc with that one.
someone spoiled the ending for Heavy Rain for you.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I like the art style of that game. I like Blade Runner. I like that whole motif. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to play that game or not.
I think I might, but I don't know either.
Yeah,
I'll see.
It depends on how depressed I want to be. Like Sony just knocked the depression out of the park early in this press conference. Every game they saw, there's like, oh, here's a kid. We might kill this kid.
Right. He's gonna have a rough time.
Here's an animal that is adorable. We're probably gonna kill this animal.
Right.
That's the parent in you. I didn't see it.
No, it definitely is. Like you change. Like once you have a kid, and you see how they manipulate you with having these kids in the game, like holding up a small like a daughter character over a ledge,
Right.
repeatedly, you're like,
No.
yeah, no. It's like, let's not do this.
Or my thought was, oh shit just got fucking real. Like.
Right.
It's clear that like developers have kids and they know how to
Push the buttons.
push the buttons on this stuff.
Good pun there. Resident Evil. Let me hold on. Let me figure out these Roman numerals. So
7.
V is 5. Okay, 7. Yeah, it looked different. It didn't look like a Resident Evil game
I
somehow.
thought that was Kojima's game. Like I thought that's what he was working on. Because
It looked like PT, right?
PT, yeah. So I thought, oh, this is probably, and then they said it just says Resident Evil 7. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I was just.
And that's out now. There's a demo you can download.
There's a demo, but it's not. If you want to get it, apparently you have to go through popular new arrivals on the system store. It's buried.
It's not on the web.
It's buried, so go hunt for it.
I don't know. It looks like the original idea of Resident Evil to me, like the older 1 through 3, which were the games that I liked.
Right.
Before it. I know Resident Evil 4 is a classic game, but it's not Resident
It
Evil.
was a very different game.
It was very different, and then after that, it got even more different. And this seems more like what Resident Evil was.
Also, I watched it again, and they say like she's back, and like people think they're talking about Lisa Trevor from Resident Evil 1. You remember that character? Like in the remake, the GameCube remake, there's this character called Lisa Trevor, and she has a huge humpback, and there's a huge story.
Great.
Yeah. So they think that's who the she's back is. They're talking about.
All right. She's back. Another game called Days Gone was revealed, which is a zombie biker game.
More depression.
Right, the world is fucked, and you're a biker, a lone biker.
This one looks amazing. Like just the number of zombies that they have on screen.
And the way they sort of spilled out of that train car during the trailer.
Yeah, and I like you can kind of interact with the environment to kind of steer where the zombies are going.
Right, and make choke points.
Right,
and look
yeah.
Interesting.
I wasn't like in the game. Like, I was just like, oh, another zombie game. You know, there's a million of them. But when they introduced that gameplay aspect, I got really interested. But yeah. And
It's hard to go, like, yeah, the zombie fatigue is certainly real.
It's real, yeah.
So it's hard to be, like, totally into it. But I think there's enough new there that it looked interesting. And it's open world zombies, which, other than Dead Island, we haven't seen a ton of that, right?
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising's kind of open world.
It's not a big world.
Not this. It's not
huge.
as open as this.
Yeah, it looks like this is also far away.
It looks like it needs another word in the title too.
Yeah.
This is another one of those.
A word on the end or the beginning would be good. Like Days Gone By, or I don't know, Some Days Gone would be good, maybe.
Something. It's just
something like
the,
that.
the two random words is hard for me to remember.
Yes,
And the guy from Force Unleashed, Star Killer, is in that game. So
the voice.
he's they have his face too. I mean,
Oh, his whole
yeah.
thing. All right, so that looked pretty cool. What else we see? Did I miss anything from up here? No.
Spider-Man.
No,
Insomniac Spider-Man. That's ridiculous.
need that.
Yeah, we need that. It's probably a ways off as well, but that sounds great.
Yeah.
they ran away from Microsoft and they're back at Sony. Oh my God, we're back! And people are excited because Sunset Overdrive had a lot of Spider-Man-like mechanics. So, but now you have web swing and everything, so people are excited.
And you know it's not going to be these other Spider-Man games that have come out over the years, they're not horrible, but they're jank. They're janky.
They're budget.
They're budget titles.
They're budget titles. There's been some good ones, certainly, but
They're not getting like full love from the publisher and full money.
right.
Like Transformers was a budget-ish title, but it was good,
So this should be great. I mean, this should be pretty top-notch and exciting.
And then the game of the show, Call of Duty.
That was crazy.
That it's like everybody that you talk to about it's like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Call of Duty looks amazing. At first I thought it was Eve Valkyrie because it has the same exact launch sequence, and you go out and you're doing the space battles and everything, but then all of a sudden grappling hooks, I'm on the side of a ship, outside of the ship fighting
Zero gravity.
in zero gravity,
Getting back in the
then
ship.
back in the ship.
I didn't know it was Call of Duty until the crosshairs showed up, and then you go, oh, Call of Duty.
It's pretty sweet. They did
Yeah,
it.
I'm really looking forward to playing that.
It'll be interesting to see like the space combat, how much of that is in the game, and if it's just limited to like one or two stages, or if is it an open world game? Is it No Man's Sky, but full blown?
I assume it's scripted because that's what Call of Duty does.
yeah.
But hopefully the space combat doesn't feel like you're in a tunnel.
Yeah, on rails.
Right.
Yeah. No, that looked cool, and I guess we're gonna see that at some point.
Yeah, we have an appointment to see that at some point. Hopefully it's playable.
Crash Bandicoot is being remastered.
They got a huge response, and it's only you're remastering.
No, but
the
they
old
didn't.
games.
The response died when people found out it was a remaster. People were cheering when Crash. They announced Crash and
Right.
the projection thing, and it came out. But then and people were cheering really loud,
Yeah.
and you could just hear the guy who was speaking say remaster, and then you heard the sound go really quiet.
What does that even mean that they're remastering these games? Like I don't know anything. Like
Crash 1, 2.
Right, but we're remastering PS1 games. What does that mean?
How does that work?
Better textures, I suppose, or something. I don't.
But then you have to put it in widescreen. Even you have to sort of redo it.
Yeah, you have to if you're remastering PS1 games, you're either redoing it or you're just putting them out.
As it no, well, they have the remastered. They're doing something.
What does that mean though with PS1 games? It doesn't make any sense to me.
We'll find out.
But yeah, and he's in Skylanders, which is kind of leaked ahead of time.
Right. They also showed some PlayStation VR stuff. They announced. Well, this was announced before, I think, right? The Battlefront X-Wing VR, or that was leaked or something.
Yeah, that was. Everybody knew that going in, I believe, and it looked fine. I mean, once you know Valkyrie could do space battles, just substitute in X-Wings and TIE fighters, and you're fine.
That interests me. I'm not gonna lie. I like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to really like what this is. This is like one tiny little thing on Battlefront.
I think that's probably what it is.
I think so too. They also announced Batman Arkham VR, but we don't really know what that is unless they've announced it. Is that just a remastered Batman?
No, it
Arkham?
looks like first person. You're putting on the cowl or whatever, right?
Okay. Oh, because it's Arkham VR, not Arkham. Can they just
It's going to be a little experience type of thing.
The end of slight spoilers, I guess. The end of Arkham Knight has first person. Yeah, it has.
Really? I don't remember. I mean, I finished it.
You did?
Yeah, I finished all of them. Arkham Knight is the latest one.
The latest one, yeah. At the very end of it, they have this like trippy PT type ending. Yeah, and it's all first person.
Okay.
The Joker's fucking with your head, basically.
Right.
It
Yeah.
might just be this then in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. Actually,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, they're not making a fucking brand new AAA Batman game for PlayStation VR. Just in case anyone was thinking that was what was happening here. They showed this game called Farpoint, which is, I guess, like some sort of Mars sci-fi shooter
Yes.
in VR.
To me, it looked like the VR equivalent of a first-person shooter that you would play on Android. Like, yes, this is a first-person shooter, but it's not going to blow you
not
away. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Right.
I saw that they have their little Move controller guns back again. New design for that since the first one
Was too gun-like.
did so well.
Right. It was too gun-like and nobody bought it. All right. And then, I don't know. I think that was pretty much it. They showed Lego Star Wars, whatever. But after that, we got to...
Star Wars will be great.
Yeah,
it's
it'll be
just like
funny.
it's not blowing up your skirt at the Sony press conference.
It's like the Telltale games where it's like, oh, cool, they're coming out with that, but it's,
Right. You're not going to flip out. So they showed a lot of VR games afterwards. You could go play them.
They had like maybe 20 VR stations, which isn't a ton, and VR takes forever, because it's
wait online. Yeah,
one person.
We got on the line early and then decided this is going to take forever. So we didn't play anything.
The line didn't move at all after like 10 minutes, and it was just like, oh, okay.
One big problem at E3 just in general is that the demos are way too long. And if you have a 20-minute demo at your station, that line is not fucking moving. I mean, it's pretty simple math. 10 minutes is all you need. 5 is fine, to be honest.
But yeah, overall though, Sony's press conference I think blew Microsoft's out of the water.
You thought so?
I mean I think this is much better than last year's Sony press conference, and then all these are realities that are coming fairly soon. Other than like the Kojima thing, which is
no, a lot of these games aren't coming anytime soon. I
think a lot of them are.
Really?
Within
Last Guardian, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Is that this year, Horizon?
I believe so.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh.
Final Fantasy 15's this fall, and so they have a good chunk of games that are coming out. Oh, Resident Evil 7 is January. Did you know that? So that's really.
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff could be out before next E3. I mean, obviously, some of it's way off, but it's not like last year where it was just like,
right, that was ridiculous.
Here's a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
Let's throw up a lot.
No, this was much better.
Right.
This was realistic.
They didn't even show Final Fantasy 7 because I think that is still a ways off.
Right. It was a really tight and entertaining press conference.
They didn't bring up anybody to talk for 10 minutes.
No, they learned their lesson.
They didn't talk about the Powers show that's coming back.
No stats about how many PlayStations no stats about anything. And they're winning. And usually that's when you get all the stats. No stats, which was very appreciated. So after that, Ship and I went to the Microsoft software showcase, where they had a lot of stuff from their conference on the playable. I was surprised to see Sea of Thieves there. They had they had maybe the most kiosks next to Gears of War.
Yeah. We didn't end up playing it. We were waiting, and again, the demo was super.
People don't leave. People don't get up.
I don't think that demo ended.
No.
So I think you could just sit there and play Sea of Thieves for as long as you wanted to, and that meant people must have been enjoying it because they were playing it as long as they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, you're all working together on a pirate ship. Just one guy's steering, one guy's doing this cannon, one guy's doing that cannon, one guy's getting wood to fix the boat when he gets shot.
I think that might have led to people not getting up too because they felt like, okay,
The boat's going to sink without me.
right. It's the five of us. We're in this together. I'm here for the evening.
I think kids are probably going to love that game, and probably adults. It seemed very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque.
The art style seems like very deliberate that they wanted to appeal to both kids and adults. Like it's cartoony, but also like a little serious. But yeah, I was surprised to see it because I heard that it was like really far away from coming out. But I guess, I don't know, they're pretty confident. It was there in full effect.
I played Gears of War 4.
Another super ass long demo.
Yeah, I played for maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Too long.
I was playing on the Xbox One S. I didn't really notice a significant difference in graphics or lighting or anything.
Right. Supposedly there's a demo on the show floor in the
Where you can
Xbox
see them
booth.
side by side. If they're not side by side, I don't think this is something that you're going to be able to pick up on.
Not to mention that Gears section you were playing was like pretty dark and there was not and muddy.
It felt like Gears. I was shooting a lot of things. The new, the saw blade gun was pretty fun. They have the things where there's giant gestation, sacks that you can shoot down to hide behind. It was good.
Yeah, it was the single player that you played. They didn't have the multiplayer there.
Right.
We
played a little bit of Tekken 7.
Yes, it was Tekken. It looks kind of. It doesn't look like a next gen game, like super next gen. It looks, I don't know, a little rough maybe, but whatever.
I don't. It's got to be close, right? Yeah. It's got the full roster was in there, playable. So that thing has to be pretty close to shipping.
But people seem to like it. This, not for me.
I do not know any of the combos or anything in Tekken. So it was GP and I played against each other, and it was a bunch of just jumping and punching.
Well, it took me 1 or 2 rounds to figure out that the stick didn't work, and you had to use the D-pad.
Right.
It's like I'm usually much better at these games. My guy doesn't seem to be moving. What else do they have there?
The design a controller, you designed a controller.
Yeah, so they had the whole setup with the custom controllers, and you could go to the website and design it right on the spot, and then share it with people. It's $80 with free shipping.
$9.90 if you want the engraving thing.
Yeah, which I would pay that premium to get it on an Elite controller. Maybe I don't think I would want to go through the trouble and expense of designing a custom regular controller.
There's no hexadecimal color scheme, right?
No, it's just 16 or so. 16. It depends. Sometimes less choices depending on what you're coloring. Which part. But they look great.
Yeah, they look really sharp.
That would make a really good gift for an Xbox gamer
or a sports fan.
Yeah, you could put their gamer tag on there. Ty would like that.
You played Forza Horizon 3 in the D-Box.
Fucking D-Box, man. That thing was crazy. So they have a whole racing seat, basically virtual car set up with full shocks and everything, steering wheel and all that. It was Horizon 3 looks amazing. It was running at the setup there. It was running 4K, 30 frames per second. Which I think was a mistake. I think you want to run that game at 60 frames per second, and you can go, you go 1440p or 1080p. It's going to probably look very similar, but the frame rate is what really is important for that game. And Horizon 3 has always had the 30 frames per second, and Forza proper gets 60 frames per second. So now finally, the PC version will run is not frame rate locked, so you can run it whatever your machine can. So I'm really excited to play this game at 60 frames per second because that's all it was missing. It was a fucking perfect game, and it looks amazing. I'm very excited. Anything else at that event?
I think that's all we played. I mean, pretty much everything they showed in the press conference.
Yeah, we saw Dead Rising being played. People seem pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that was pretty crowded for Dead Rising.
Halo
Recore, we
Wars.
didn't. Yeah, Halo Wars was there. Recore, we didn't play.
Cuphead was there. They had one.
I played that last year. That needs to come out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's looking at their offerings. I'm interested to see what Sony has on the show floor because it did not seem like Microsoft had a ton of that was all their exclusive stuff basically was
Right.
there.
They'll probably have the Resident Evil 7 demo at the show for people to check out. I think Resident Evil 7 is PlayStation 4 exclusive. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Is it?
You can only buy the PS4 version on Amazon right now. So
It might be one of those timed
time release.
things. Whichever. I mean, but yeah, it seems like Microsoft's offerings are a little bit light this year. From I just see this I see
Just
they
from the
have Gears.
presentation, yeah.
Just I see they have Gears. I see they have Forza. I see they have Dead Rising.
Dead Rising this year?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. It's really hard to keep up with the dates and everything, guys. When you're here,
holiday, so it said holiday 2016. So I don't.
that means this year.
All right.
All right, so I think that pretty much wraps it up for this audio boo. Later today, we're going to be looking at Mafia 3 and what else? Alienware and I don't know, some other shit. So we'll probably hit you up later today with our day one opinions. Until then, we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Hey guys, it's Cheapy D, and it is the end of day one here at E3 for the most part. And I'm here with Orban
Hello again.
and Shipwreck
Hi.
and blah, blah, blah. No, that was it. That's it. Just us three. So we're going to talk about what we saw today. And we started by watching the Nintendo, what are they calling that?
Tree House.
So primarily they were showing the new Zelda game.
They showed
A little bit of Pokemon.
right. Pokemon and Zelda.
That's it.
I hope you like Pokemon and Zelda, everyone. The Pokemon look fine. It looked like Pokemon. That's all I
Sure,
can comment
I
on
don't
that. Like it's the same game every time, pretty much, right?
Yeah, it is.
Zelda, it does not look graphically up to par with the current video game standards.
I mean, we got back from the Sony thing, and then the textures are a little,
Right.
yeah,
It's a tough act to follow.
yeah.
You got like all this detail on all the characters in these PlayStation games.
I don't even understand how the textures are so bad on this. It's not like the Wii U is that underpowered. Like
Mario Kart 8 looks amazing.
right, you can make games look good on that, and I appreciate that there's an art style to Zelda, and that they have crafted this art style. But it looks like it's an art style that is designed to hide that they don't have textures.
They're missing some
Textures
tech.
and lighting, and like it's just
Not
it just looks
not a ton
washed,
of particles either.
right. It just looks washed out to me. Like I don't understand. You're highlighting a tree falling over to create a bridge, and when the tree crashes down, all
Looks like Minecraft.
it looks like Minecraft. Yeah, all of the palm leaves on this tree that's supposed to be a pine tree to begin with, but all of the branches just fly off. I'm sure it's really fun. There was long lines for it at E3.
Right. Nobody seems to care who at the show.
No, that's the thing is like everybody cares about Zelda, but you just have to live with what Nintendo gives you. Like there's no alternative to this situation.
Right. All right. So that was that. Shipwreck put together this amazing He-Man puzzle that Thorban bought for him at a garage sale for $1, which is basically a beautiful work of art, which he's going to frame after.
I'm pretty proud that I got all 300 pieces of it done in about half of the Nintendo press conference.
Yep.
I feel like I accomplished more than they did.
You were totally immersed. You did. You made art. I mean, I don't know that they made art with that press conference. Okay, so we did that, and then what happened? We went to see Mafia. That was our first appointment? No. Yes. So we saw Mafia 3, which takes place in the late 1960s fake New Orleans.
It's interesting that it's fake New Orleans. Is there a reason?
I think that there's just less pressure on them to deliver a realistic version.
Okay.
They can be inspired by all the parts of it, but then now you don't have to make that street look exactly
Because they straight up say it's their version of New Orleans.
right. And I'm sure they've taken all the actual districts or taken several.
Look, I've been to New Orleans several times, and
looked like
it's recognizable. You have the French Quarter with the church.
Do they have any like shirts with naked ladies and alligator heads and things like that, or?
I don't know if they had the tourist district.
In the 60s, yeah, it's late 60s.
Late 60s. I don't think that was there yet.
The main character is a black guy, which is
Lincoln.
very unusual in a video game, a big video game.
Yeah, it's cool to see, I think.
I was surprised. I was really surprised. You just don't see it. That's cool. That's going to be really. I don't know. The game looks great. Looks like it has a lot of personality.
Personality. I think the world is really well developed. It's interesting. It sounds like it's going to have, just from what they showed, it seems like it's going to have a great soundtrack.
Yeah, they got a great pool to draw upon.
Yeah, they had. So you also have sub bosses like crime lords below you, which they showed 3 of them. I think there's only 3 to get.
Yep.
But you can kind of, I don't know, influence.
You're supposed to be building your own mob empire,
Right.
and you have these guys that work under you, and you can decide who's going to control which section. And I don't know. I like the Mafia games, and this looks like a really good one so far.
The demo they showed, one of the other bosses got pissed off because you weren't giving him enough land, basically.
Right. Yep.
And so,
And-
yeah, there's different consequences.
It's good. It's
looked
going to be
good.
good.
Yeah,
It's going to be nice.
I think it is.
All right. Then what happened? What do we do after
We went to Alienware, and
we saw the hotness?
yeah, they basically just showed us a whole bunch of computers that we wanted, and then
Right. Then
have
we
to
left.
buy.
Right. they have a whole new product line coming out.
The new alpha thing is an interesting thing. Like, so they revamped their alpha, which is their
Tiny
little
box.
console box. Yeah,
It's like the size of a Wii U, pretty much.
yeah. It's 8x8. But now they have this separate, like graphics card box as
Expansion box. So if you want to put in a fat card,
well. You can put 2 fat cards in it.
you
right?
can run like this cable to this little box, and now you have a
You put-
little
yeah,
graphics card train.
Right. You put a power supply in there and connect it, and so you can put like a 1080 in this thing and connect it up to the alpha.
Yeah.
It's weird because it sounds like it's great, but then at the same time, it's like, why are you just buying a full PC at that point?
Well, it's still going to be much smaller than
Yeah,
it.
the form factor's
even
nice.
with that expansion. I mean, I think it's still going to be a lot smaller. So that was cool.
It's tempting. Like, you see those alpha boxes, and you're like, this seems like a pretty easy way to PC game.
In your living room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what Wombat needs.
Right. Send one to Wombat, Alienware. Get on that. All right. What else? What happened after that?
What else did we see?
Focus.
Oh, yeah, we went to Focus. We saw 4 games there. Farming Simulator 17?
Yep. Okay, Thorbon, how many copies of the last Farming Simulator game do you think Focus sold?
Not a lot.
5 million
what?
copies.
Yes, 5 million
Is
copies.
this in Europe or Japan?
Who cares?
Well, what?
Money's money.
Right. This is a series that fascinates me because people love it. Like, it's
Go farm again.
They don't want to work for real. They want to work at their computer and play with their friends. And
'Cause,
one
like-
guy drives the tractor, one guy drives the spreader. Is that something?
that sounds like something. They've got trains in it.
I don't know if you know this, but everybody's ancestor sooner or later was a farmer because
You need to eat.
you needed to eat back then. Like it was like 50% of the people were farmers and stuff, and now like it's like 5%, 2% or something. But like, go farm again. Go.
Well, they were saying that a lot of their customers are actually farmers.
Yeah. And that they have to make the vehicles really detailed because the farmers will notice if there's like a screw out of place on the.
That's like NFL players playing Madden, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's interesting to see, like, Focus has a large booth this year. Like, in the past, they've just had, like, a medium-sized booth. And I think that Farming Simulator money is paying for that.
I had no clue. Like if I no.
Right, I know. I figured you had no clue. 'Cause
Right.
Why would you? I mean,
If you've seen it over E3 through the years, you've kind of seen it like grow. Like it was just like a tractor at one point, like in the corner of E3, and then it's slowly gotten bigger.
right. That's right. That's right. And now they have like 5 or I don't know how many presentation rooms they had there.
I guess when I see Farming Sim when they're on sale, I'll post it and see if like it gets retweets. If it doesn't again, like yeah.
No, I mean it could not be anything in our market whatsoever. I just find it interesting that it's like it's clearly something that people enjoy playing.
Yeah.
And you played that like truck simulator game. So
Yeah, it's
like,
fun.
It's like similar type of thing.
Or train simulator.
Yeah, it's the same story.
So they had that. They had another Warhammer Deathwing game, which was another one of those Warhammer
Carter crawlers
shooters where you're closing up things that way you don't get overrun with things.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are popular in Europe as well.
Could be, yeah.
And they had the Surge, which was the interesting one I thought.
Okay.
The most interesting one, which was the RPG with the guy in the exosuit.
Right,
where
mostly melee combat.
Melee combat, and then you got to keep loot based upon which part of the body you hacked off at the end
Right.
of your enemies. So if you targeted and lopped off their head, you got
what game is this again?
It's called the
the
Surge.
Surge.
Okay.
It's one of these Eastern developed RPGs, but it looked fun. I liked the loot system. I don't know why you wouldn't just loot the whole body once you've lopped off the head, but
Right, can't you just lop off the other parts and take them too?
that's all right. I'm okay with video games being video gaming.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
These are all like pre-alpha.
and then what was the
Vampire.
Vampire. Yeah, Vampire. It had a cool idea behind it.
Right, didn't quite look vampire-y enough for me, like the main character. I don't know why, but
Maybe he hasn't powered up enough. He hasn't eaten enough people. Like the whole conceit was like you're in this living world and you're investigating things and you find out about the citizens in these areas, and then depending on whether you choose to kill them or not, it affects the town. And you're also a doctor. You're a doctor vampire.
People get sick, and you're trying to like make sure that the town doesn't get just totally devastated by you killing people and all the sicknesses that are going on.
It's made by the people who made Remember Me, if you remember that game, and Life is Strange. And Life is Strange is a really good game. You should definitely play it. I stopped by and talked to the guys, and they were really interested in what choice I made at the end of the game. And the reason why is he said people kept playing it over and over again, so the results page isn't really the true results. Like they just want what
they want the first result.
They
didn't quite program it.
Yeah.
And that was it for Focus, I think. Yeah.
They have a lot more games,
Right.
but that's the 4 that we saw. And then while we were seeing that, Thorbon was seeing Deus Ex.
Yeah, I saw Deus Ex. The graphics look like the old game, which is a 360 PS3 game. It looks kind of dated, but they added a lot of choices. There's a lot of paths and things like that. See, the way you might like to play in the old game, like there are a lot more options to do it, and it looks fun. Like I want to play it, but the only thing it has against it is, like I said last night, Sony showed some like holy, WoW games and
Deus Ex looked like Spartan. Like it was very it was the style they were going for.
Yeah, or like Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider is a great game, but it's nothing that really wowed me visually on the Xbox One. No.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is one of the best looking games of this generation.
Okay, I don't know, not for me, but all right.
Maybe your glasses were like fogged up.
Sure.
From the excitement or from the cold weather in the game. Right?
Yeah, but yeah, and then I walked around and found like a bunch of like places that like the booths were like they weren't that super populated, and so jump on real quick. So I played Headlander, and it's like Metroid. It's a Metroid type game made by Double Fine, and Adult Swim Games is publishing it. And there was this glitch last week where there was an Adult Swim collection on Amazon, and it was $23.99 if you had Amazon Prime, but that discount was a glitch or whatever. So I posted it, Adult Swim Games told me that was fake and take it down, please. And I complied because, I trust them. And so what I thought was it was like an E3 leak of sorts. But I asked him, and he's like, no, we don't know where the hell that came from. Huh. So, like, I thought that was very interesting that somehow Amazon thought, like, it's, like, totally...
They just jumped the gun.
It doesn't exist. Like, they just manufactured it out of thin air, and I have it pre-ordered, and he told me some of the people have it pre-ordered at the Adult Swim offices, like, to see, like, if something shows up, because it doesn't exist.
There's no retail.
Yeah. And then I went and saw Gravity Rush 2, because, like, Gravity Rush Remastered, I played that on PlayStation 4, and they did a really, like, I don't own a Vita, so, like, I was like, sure, I'll get it, and then it's Amazon exclusive on disc, and I'm a collector, so I got it, and I really enjoyed it a lot, and Gravity Rush 2, like, they fixed a lot of the problems from Gravity Rush 1, like,
Nobody buying it?
No, not...
Right.
Not that problem. The problems were like the tossing mechanism where you'd activate gravity and then toss things at creatures was kind of janky in the first game, but they totally fixed it. Specials they totally fixed. The kicking mechanic, all the combat is way smoother and better, and then the graphics are of course way better because it was made for PS4.
Sure. I mean, before it was built for Vita controls.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but yeah, it looks really good. I tried Cuphead, and that looks fun. It was I kept dying, so it's a hard game.
Yeah, that's definitely a hard game. I remember that last year when I played.
Yeah, and then I tried Slime Rancher, and Slime Rancher is Harvest Moon first-person type game where you suck slimes, and then you have them eat stuff, and they poop money, and then you put the money in, and then you build stuff, and you keep collecting slimes, and it's like a weird...
Is this Dragon Quest related? Or is this
No.
slime?
No, it's an independent. It's an independent. It's going to be a games preview type things. And then I checked out Song of the Deep, which is also another Metroid style game, but
the GameStop game, right?
Yeah. That's the reason why I want to check it out because it's worth $15, like digital, physical. It's definitely worth $15 for a physical copy.
Who's developing this again?
Insomniac,
that's right.
Yeah. So it looks pretty, it's a budget title, but like it's mechanically it's Metroid and it has a lot of Metroid type things and there are jellyfish that sting you and you gotta find the item A to unlock item B and fight Metroid.
Love item B.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically all I saw and then I walked around and overheard some weird things like the Gravity Rush. There was a lady cosplaying as Gravity Rush for Sony, and her handler was next to her, and she's like, "Just let me know if anybody gets a little too aggressive with you." It's just here. Overhear weird things, but yeah. So it was fun first day.
They weren't talking about you, were they?
No.
He wouldn't bring it up then.
We looked at some of the retro stuff too. We saw the new Superboy S. The
Hyperkin stuff.
The Hyperkin. I don't know, Super Nintendo portable thing, and then the Game Boy one as well, where you put your iPhone into this Game Boy type.
The
holder.
bottom of a Game Boy, basically.
Bottom of the Game Boy, so it has the buttons there, and then you put the cartridges of Game Boy and Game Boy Colors in a slot behind where your iPhone sits. It
looks a little weird and thick.
Right. They did it.
Yep.
I was more excited by 8-Bit Do. They are putting out Super Nintendo wireless dongles, like the Nintendo one that I already bought.
Yep, I posted on Twitter, and you bought them. So thank you.
Oh yeah. I
That does happen, by the way. You keep doing that with Infinity stuff. Fine.
yeah. But yeah, I was excited to see that the Super Nintendo ones, and they said they'd be out in a couple months.
Cool.
Once he understood what I was saying.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we visited. What's the hall that was like pretty empty and breezy?
South Hall is pretty sad this year. They've moved a lot of stuff that was just in general walking areas before to kind of fill up.
Right,
South
like
Hall.
a band.
There's a band playing in there. They sound good.
Sure.
But it's just odd that there's an area where a band is playing. Like they're one of those retro video game cover bands, Super Soul Brothers. Mm-hmm. But like Inside the Pixel, which is like the
art show.
the art show, that's now in South Hall.
Shack News has a booth.
Sure. T-Mobile has a booth. You can play Overwatch at the T-Mobile booth.
I'm going to do that.
There's a booth of giant domes.
Oh, Dome VR, I saw that. Yeah.
But it's not VR.
It's a projection.
It's like you go in these domes, and like we went in the medium-sized one. I went in there with Chris Plant, and we sat down on the floor, and there's like maybe 6 of projectors, like the projector I have in my house, and they shoot them up at the ceiling of this dome that you're in, and it creates like one image of you're swimming in the ocean, or
They have that Museum of Natural History.
yeah. Why is that here?
I don't know. We got a good deal on the booth.
Right. It's like stuff like that. We went by the VR porn booth. It was packed.
It was so packed.
Oh, what?
That whole area where they have the little booths back there, they're all empty except the VR porn booth, and there's a huge fucking line that just takes up the whole area.
There was like 3 people at the 8-bit dough booth.
3, yeah, there was like 50 people at the porn booth.
And they're all just sitting there,
Butts to nuts, online.
and they're just sitting there like, yep, I am doing this.
Yep.
I am putting this VR on and watching porn here at E3.
Yes. Yep. I may have to include that picture in this show art here. All right. Well, I think that's it for our day 1 coverage. We're going to go to a couple of parties tonight. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, it's GBD, and I'm here with Shipwreck, and it is the end of day 2 at E3 here in Los Angeles, and we are going to give you a recap of our day today. So we kicked it off at Activision, where we saw Shipwreck's favorite game, Skylanders Imaginators.
I like Sky. It's not my favorite game.
I know, but it's your favorite Toys to Life game.
It is my favorite Toys to Life game. I think it's the best game of all those. Yeah, it looked good again. They have the whole create a character thing, which I think goes a long way with kids.
Yeah, I feel like Ty would really like that game.
I feel like most kids would really like it. It's just whether or not the parents are willing to keep buying these toys at this point.
No, Ty's dad does not want to invest in this game.
Right. Emmeline's dad does. But the Crash was in there. The Crash stuff looked cool.
Right.
The Crash figure looks nice. There was cute touches in there. Like he has multiple lives, which is different than all the other Skylanders.
Right.
What do you want me to say about Skylanders?
They look good.
I didn't get a free figure. The gravy train is over. They are on the way out. They are not handing out free figures.
They don't want people selling them on eBay for $200 like the day of the show.
I think they don't care. I would think they want to do that. Like to
Drives the hype. It can make a
drives
news
the
story.
hype, right? Like it makes people want to report on it.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason they hand out this stuff. It's to build up.
Right. Hysteria.
Right, but they didn't have a booth, so we were up in meeting rooms. But give me a Skylander.
Right. By the way, our buddy Carlos is here from. You're not with Angry Bananas, Carlos, of course, but what else are you doing these days?
Now I'm working for NHN Entertainment, which is a Korean mobile game company. So they do stuff like Yokai Watch now. I'm doing Yokai Watch, and I'm doing Crusader's Quest. That's about it.
Sounds good. Stuttering Craig is also here, but we're leaving him alone because he's talked enough for today. He's already talked for 5 hours today, so let him sit there. Then we saw Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is pretty amazing looking.
Pretty impressive. I mean, just they start off. They showed us a new level. We didn't have any hands on with it. They had hands on in the interview room, but we didn't do an interview because
No talking to people.
yeah, we don't like that. They had so the first level they showed was like a more traditional Call of Duty like on foot level, but futuristic with robots. Mm-hmm. Does somebody want to get the door?
Yeah, we get that.
All right, somebody's knocking on our door.
Right, it's more people.
Right. So
Craig doesn't have to talk, but he has to answer the door.
Right. There's robots. We're come on in, Ben Gilbert.
Hi, hello.
It's special guest Ben Gilbert.
Oh my God, on your phones. Hello. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So yeah, you have a robot buddy
You
now.
have robot buddies. You have spider grenades that go off and find enemies and explode. And then at the end of that level, you get in a jet.
Motherfucking spaceship.
Yeah, you get in a jet and fly to space, like you would do.
I haven't seen that game at all.
It's
Call
good.
of Duty.
Oh yeah, that's a video game. How about that? Is that good? Did you play it?
We didn't play it. We watched it.
Yeah. Yes.
It's fantastic looking.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't look like Call of Duty.
Here's the
Part of
deal.
it.
It's going to be a Call of Duty game. Surprise. It's going to be a lot of blockbuster moments where you push a button and it does a bunch of stuff.
Dude, you fly a
I know.
spaceship and you blow up bigger spaceships, and then you get out of the spaceship and then you shoot people. Then you blow up the big spaceship, get back into your little spaceship, and fly away.
I saw that when the guy in the spaceship rolled up on the other spaceship and hopped out onto
Yeah.
it. Like, no big deal.
Right,
Physics,
exactly.
whatever.
He had
No
a
big
grappling
deal.
hook. All for this, go out the window. Once you have a grappling hook. What are you wanting realism out of Call of Duty? Is this your thing?
No, but I don't want it to be a little less than completely ridiculous.
I want it to be completely ridiculous.
Yes, you do.
Fair.
You
That's
do.
fair. That's fair.
When you
All right.
see this, like the mechs going by and stuff, it doesn't look like Call of Duty anymore. Now it looks like, I don't know, looks like Mass Effect almost. So you're almost getting into Mass Effect. I mean, you got
Except without all the like great story and characters and all that stuff that makes Mass Effect amazing. You're totally right. I
He's
completely
got a
agree.
robot named Ethan.
Oh, okay.
It's
Then
the-
I'm sold. Never mind. I reverse everything I just said on board. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Game of the Year, 2016.
he's got a heart of gold.
You're an asshole.
Your other best friend is a talking pie.
That actually I'm on board for. That's fine.
Then we saw. They also showed Infinite. No, not Modern Warfare, the remaster.
The remaster.
That
looks
fantastic.
sick.
I'm down for all gillied up again in HD. I'm
But
full.
wait, how do you?
Same thing you just complained about.
But that game I already know is amazing. I don't want infinite war. I don't need to go into space and all this.
But that wasn't
nonsense,
your
like,
that wasn't
forget
your
it.
problem. Main problem. Your main problem was it was blockbuster moments. You press buttons to get through.
That level requires you carefully sneaking around the enemy.
No, it
That's
does not.
amazing about that game.
It does not.
It does. You should probably play that again on advanced instead of the regular ass basic mode you played it on, because it actually does require you sneaking around them.
No, it requires me playing on the normal difficulty and shooting guys in the head.
You gotta play hardened or veteran
Why
to
would I do
really
that?
get it on that level. It's a lot more fun and challenging and interesting.
Love for Call of Duty here. So much love. So much.
I actually love Modern Warfare. That game is fantastic. I have nothing but love for that game. Infinite Warfare, though, like, how many games are we since Modern Warfare 2?
How many
Modern
Manhattans? How many Manhattans are we into tonight?
2.
Oh, that's
I'm
not
ready
not
to
very
be
impressive.
A little angry.
Oh, okay. 2 is enough to get you angry?
Yeah, I've had no drinks all week. I've been working nonstop.
Right, that's what I figured. That is true. I've witnessed that.
I'm here for the passion.
Fuels the anger.
That's the
Gasoline. It's just gasoline. on
Yes.
top.
On the fire that already exists.
Well, Ben's wrong. It looks great.
Fantastic.
But Modern Warfare looks. I will say the remaster looks like. If I didn't know what it was, it looks like a current gen game.
It has all
Sure.
the
Like,
trappings.
it looks
yeah.
amazing.
Yes, yes.
It does not
Other than
look
I've already played it and I don't need to play it again.
Right. Right.
But it's not like Skyrim, where you need to spend 100 hours in it. It's like
Right.
10 hours at the most.
True.
So you could
If
play it
you're-
again and have a good time.
But why would I? Why would I play it again?
Because it's been like 6 years. Sorry, GP. I'll stand up.
No, it's good. GP's the mic stand that goes around the room.
Right.
He's good with
That's why I
this.
have long limbs
Yes.
and can sit on my knees.
Whoa.
Hey, all right. What else did we see? Enough Call of Duty hate.
We went to Bandai Namco Bandai. What are they
Okay.
going by?
They got Pac-Man.
Bandai got the.
We played Pac-Man
Pac-Man
256. Yes, Pac-Man 256 on PlayStation 4 with co-op,
It's really fun.
2-player co-op.
4-player co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be a havoc.
Should be cool.
4-player co-op with one controller. How was that?
Pac-Man 256.
What are you talking about?
You know the iPhone game, the iOS game, the endless Pac-Man game.
Same guys from Cross.
So it's coming to consoles and it's gonna have 4-player co-op.
That's awesome.
Really?
That's
I couldn't
the right
tell.
response right there.
Right. It looked cool. It was fun.
Just go on YouTube right now to watch.
Right. Look at this.
Amazing.
Craig just woke up. Pac-Man. That's good. That's good.
We saw that. We saw Necropolis, which is a roguelike, 4-player co-op roguelike with Wind Waker style graphics.
That was
Minimal,
Dead Souls
minimalistic.
one you-
Minimalistic, but Wind Waker.
Kind of remind me of
Esque.
Dark Souls, though. A little.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to remind
it's
you.
Dark Souls, but it doesn't look like Dark Souls,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem like since you have 4-player co-op, you can revive the other players if they
less
go down.
punishing.
Yeah, it's less. Less you have to devote your life to it. It seemed like. I had fun playing it, so that's also how it differs from Dark Souls.
Right.
And you had fun playing it, right? You liked it?
Seemed right.
Yeah, you liked it. It sounds like you loved it.
Loved it.
Who's making it?
Bandai Namco.
Like it's an internal studio?
No,
or
it's
they're
it's
publishing
the
it,
guys. It's the guys who did those other 2 games that they told me about.
Cool. All right.
I don't. If Thorban was here,
He would know.
He would just rattle off.
What's going on?
He's
off,
busy.
busy.
He's off playing with Mega 64 at the moment. I think.
Okay.
Then after that, what else we see there? You played some Tekken.
I did play Tekken.
We have a Tekken guy here.
All right,
Tell us
cool.
about
Tekken. It's same as the other Tekken. That's about it.
Perfect.
That's a wrap up.
That's the exact amount that I wanted to talk about Tekken.
And they added Akuma. That's all right. I think
You
we're good.
juggle people until they're dead.
Pretty much.
Tekken.
Yep, Tekken.
Done.
Then what did we see next? We saw. Well, you did the YouTube segment. How'd that go?
It was great. Craig had me on YouTube. It sucked.
Did you fuck up? Did you fuck up?
I did not. I don't think I fucked up.
Did you look at your phone for your notes? Or?
I didn't have to look at my phone for my notes.
He was on it. He was a professional.
Very very professional. See, I save it for my own show to burp. I don't burp on other people's show. I'm very professional.
Yes.
No, it was fun, and Ty got to watch because he's home from school, and it was great. And Grandpa got to watch. Everybody's very impressed in my family. I could talk about video games for 5 minutes.
You didn't talk about RoboCop? Not even once?
What RoboCop?
You didn't talk about RoboCop? No, I'm saying in
Just in
general.
general?
Just in general.
Oh.
Bring up
As an
RoboCop.
ongoing theme in your life.
No. He's not involved in my life right now. Very much, I gotta say.
While you were doing that, I
yeah.
went and saw Natsume.
Okay.
Everybody here went there.
Yeah, I checked
Why?
that out.
Oh, okay. We do have another guy that went there.
What does Natsume make that you'd be interested in?
I like Harvest Moon. My wife loves Harvest Moon.
You know you live in an area where you could just actually farm.
So okay.
That's the whole game. It's
You
just virtual farming. Just
you live in an
actually
area
farm.
where you can Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah!
And he does.
You don't know that I don't.
He's hit taxi cabs before.
I have absolutely hit taxi cabs
With your fist, though.
with my fists in a rage.
He said, "I'm walking here." He said that.
Yes.
No, he said, "I'm walking here."
Oh, no,
Exactly.
That.
Yeah.
Harvest Moon's good. They're making another one. It's good.
All right.
That's how you justified it. Harvest Moon's good. They're making another one.
So it's good.
Nobody wants to listen to me talk about Harvest Moon. What do you want to hear about? They have those horses that have
Carrots.
sheep hair on them this time.
Great.
You can farm easier. How about River City Ransom? Are we interested in that?
I have never.
played it.
I am only interested in River City Ransom.
It's based upon Renegade. They are redoing the story
Yay.
of Renegade in River City. What's it called?
Ransom.
I don't know.
No, River City. It's some new name, but it's
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think they don't have the rights to the original game.
right.
Right. Is that
right. But it looks exactly like that. It's got like a RPG leveling system to it now. You buy your items like you did before. It's got dodgeball in there.
It's in 3D now, too.
I didn't hit. I dial that 3D switch.
to be
Just
sure.
dial it down, rip it off. But yeah, it's good. What did you played it?
Underground. River City Ransom Underground.
Yes.
Who's making this?
Those
This is another
Kickstarter.
Natsume game?
Arc Systems making
Arc.
System.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arc Systems making it. They are not also making, but Natsume something Japan is making the Wild Guns
Wild Guns
remake.
Reloaded. Yeah. That one's, you can play up to 4 players now.
Yeah,
That's the only
that's
reloaded part of it.
everybody played the Super Nintendo game. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't know these things existed. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome. Sorry.
Good thing you're here, so you can.
Dude, this is right in my wheelhouse. Wild Guns remake? Hold on.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. It's the same game, only
Dude, this is legit.
They added 2 new characters. One of
It's a
them.
good thing you're here, Craig, so we can tell you what's going on at E3.
One of them is a dog flying like on a drone.
Yeah.
The other one is a large woman,
Hey.
like
Hefty.
Oh.
hefty
A
woman.
BBW is what you're trying to say, I think? It's a big, beautiful woman. in case
Okay.
you're
She's
wondering.
a thick lady.
Yes.
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 A lady with a large frame.
Right.
Yes.
Craig checking it out right
Really
now.
taking your podcast to classy new heights right now.
This is legitimately one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo, and the fact that they're remaking this for the PS4 is amazing. Wow, and it's 4 players.
Yeah, 4 players.
Wow, that's technology.
Discovery in real time.
This is great, dude. This is like it looks.
I told you, Natsume.
It's retro but real. It's retro but 2016. It's great.
The last time I had a Natsume appointment, it was with Africa. the game Africa. Do you remember that? It was with a K. It was a photography game.
Yeah.
Where you were what's the word?
Photographer.
Well, thank you, guys. I mean, you were on a safari that you were taking photographs on. It's Pokemon Snap.
I have the
but
game. I
real
know.
life.
I've played it.
Oh,
I bought it.
Great.
It's
great.
not really
No,
that
it's
great.
not great. It's not a great game. But River City Ransom is fantastic. The
is.
original game was so fantastic on the Nintendo that I played it nonstop, but it was such a standout game at the time, and now it seems like something that's kind of old hat. So what's new about the new game?
It's got 4-player co-op, so
So it's not. That's not.
They're making a new one. So
It's good. It's good.
it's got the RPG stuff in there.
Sure, yeah.
You can get
It's a
like
brawler with RPGs.
yeah, you can get like
right?
fancy pants
Yeah.
and stuff to put on.
Literally.
Yeah,
is
they
kind
might
of
have
awesome.
actually said like fancy pants.
Yeah, and then you have a new kick. That game is. I cannot express how much I love the original River City Ransom. So
You should
please
get
tell me
it.
as much as you can.
should get it.
It's no one.
I kept telling them they need to bring it to home consoles.
Is it just a
because-
PC game?
No, it's a 3DS game.
Oh, whatever.
It's a 3DS game that if you have 4 friends that also bought it, or 3 friends, I guess,
I guess.
you can play co-op
When does that come out?
sometime.
Thanks. Thank you for that, Chip.
I don't think you understand how I do E3 appointments.
Not like a journalist.
Right.
Clearly.
There is no writing down of things.
No.
There is I'm going to remember what I care about
That's fair.
with this thing.
That's fair. That's
Like
more like an
Harvest
actual
Moon,
person.
they
instead
are
of
making
me.
a new Harvest Moon.
Yes.
So when is the new Harvest Moon coming out?
New Harvest Moon comes out in the year 2016 or 2017. Probably.
All the facts.
Perfect. Thank you.
What else did we do?
I went to Daedalic.
Did
Saw.
you just call me?
Right.
I believe that's
Did anybody see? No, they told me it was Daedalic.
Oh my god! I've been mispronouncing it for years. Okay, great.
I saw Long Journey Home. Did anybody see
I don't
that?
even know what that is.
Did anybody play Star Control
Still no.
back in the day? Okay. I don't know how to describe this game. It's a space exploration game that is procedurally generated.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he typed in cheap ass gamer and it created like the cheap ass gamer universe. So
A
it's
lot of belching, probably.
right. So you're going around, you're landing on, you're like exploring around planets. Then it's got like a gravitational pull, so you have to like conserve fuel by going around using the gravitational pull. You can land on the planets, you can scan planets, you get resources, you can pick up things. If you pick up artifacts, you don't know what the consequences are. Aliens might get upset about that and come chase you down and kill you. The whole premise is you're living on this ship and you're just trying to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to work with aliens to try to get back to Earth, which is on the other side of the map.
It's basically like Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, yeah, that type of theme. It looked really nice.
I just learned that from you.
I just went with it. I never watched Star Trek Voyager.
I never.
I just
didn't
assumed
either.
you were right there. God, I don't know. Did you check out the new Star
was.
Trek game?
No.
How about the other Star Trek game?
Nah.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm sure they're fantastic.
I watched like 5 episodes of Next Generation.
They're probably really
That's all I got.
good, but I'm not a Star Trek guy.
No.
It's too optimistic.
What
No,
else?
no, I'm sure the people working on Star Trek are doing fantastic jobs, and it's worth checking out if you are into Star Trek. I'm not gonna crap on anybody's
No, of
dreams.
course not.
So you guys didn't play that Zelda game at all, right?
What?
No.
I played that Zelda game.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
It's pretty good. I think that might be the game of the show. I got to tell you, people really care about it on the internet.
They care about it before they even saw a single picture
That's
about it.
absolutely right. Facebook emailed me to tell me that people cared about it on the internet more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's true.
They
It's
also
true.
ask you, what are your thoughts about the new Zelda?
That's true. They did. That game is pretty cool. I gotta say, I know you guys are Zelda haters.
I'm not a Zelda hater. I loved Zelda 15 to 20 years ago.
Yes, and I did too. I'm with you. I've been playing Zelda since I was 5-ish, and I'm 31 now. So I've had a lot of years of Zelda. I was expecting to be completely disappointed by Zelda, and I was pretty impressed by Zelda in that they're actually modernizing it into something that seems reasonably interesting to people who maybe fell off of Zelda like yourself.
I think a lot of my problem right now with it is that they're showing it on Wii U, and I'm not playing it on Wii U.
No, nobody is, right? Like,
Right,
we were
what-
talking to the Nintendo reps, and you're talking to them about Twilight Princess, and you're like, remember then that game came out, and it was a GameCube game, and then all of a sudden it was a Wii game, and obviously people played it on the Wii, right? And the same thing applies to this, right? Like, you're obviously going to play it on the NX if you're going to play it at all.
It didn't look that good running on just
And it doesn't. It looks a little messy. I completely agree with you. It looks
There's
a
people
little
that
not
says it
great.
doesn't though, and I can't trust
They're
those
letting
people.
their nostalgia. You shouldn't trust those
Right,
people.
I
Their
can't- I
nostalgia
can't-
is coloring their
Right, I
view,
can't
right?
like people tell them like it looks amazing. Like I'm like, are you talking about the graphics? Like yes.
I'm like, it did not look great. Grass, everything looked really bad.
So what they're saying is it's an, and I'm going to get a little artsy-fartsy here, it's an on plein air style, which is to say that like it's a French impressionist in plain life style, right? Like it's meant to be this like impressionistic version of a Zelda game.
Because it's cheaper to make it that way.
Because it's cheaper to make it that way, maybe. But the NX version almost assuredly looks better, and the game looks really good for something that's running on Wii U, which is like a kind of old console that's running relatively old technology, right? Like, that game looks pretty good, especially for
That
people
game-
who...
Okay, the Wii U is as powerful as a 360.
It's not very powerful, I agree, yes.
360
There's great 360
games look better than that game.
But a good game doesn't require fantastic graphics,
I
right?
agree with that. What about passable, like graphics?
The graphics are passable. They're certainly passable. I'm okay with Minecraft. To me, is passable, and that game has really rudimentary graphics. I love Minecraft.
But that,
it's one
that's
of the
kind
most
of like
popular
built.
games in the world.
But that's kind of built into what Minecraft is.
So is kind of Zelda, right? Like Zelda's
Zelda
an
has
old
to look
school game. The
janky.
first
Zelda
time I
could have
played
realistic
Zelda,
graphics and be a fine game, I'm
I
sure.
don't want it to be
It
realistic
doesn't have to be
necessarily, though,
realistic.
right?
It can just be like nice.
It is nice. I think that this is a personal preference thing, right? Like I think it looks pretty nice. Like Wind Waker looks pretty nice, and that's
Pretty
nowhere
stoked-
near as good.
Pretty stoked when that tree falls down and all the limbs fall off.
I don't really care, honestly.
Okay, I wasn't the only one that thought of that shit.
Let me kind of chime in on this. So, the beautiful thing about Nintendo and Zelda, and anything like Zelda, Mario in particular, is that Nintendo does a really good job of protecting their assets by making them timeless, right? If you were to go back and you were to look at Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, or anything on the Super Nintendo, you'd still go back and be like, oh, that looks pretty good. Because Mario still looks the same. He's a very basic looking character, right? And you don't need a whole lot. Link, very basic looking character, because they started as very basic, that they didn't have much to work with, right? So over the years, they've changed and evolved. But at the same time, when you look at the new Zelda, I don't know, what's it called?
Breath of
It's not a fire.
Life.
You've said that so many times.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Wild or Wind?
Wind, you said.
I said Breath of the Woods. I thought about the tree.
Great naming.
Is it Wild or Wind?
It's
Of the wild.
Is it the Wild? Okay.
It's a very not easy game to remember.
6 guys in a room at E3 can't come up with the Zelda game name.
When you look at it, like if you were to go back and you look at a game like, okay, so the new Zelda, it looks like a watercolor painting. That's kind of the premise, and I think that's beautiful, right? If you were to go back and look at Wind Waker, right? Wind Waker itself had the cell shaded look. You can't really I can't believe they upscaled Wind Waker to an HD version of it. Like why? Because it has this beautiful like cell shaded look that it may not be beautiful to everybody, but it's still timeless, right? And that's kind of what they're doing here, because they're bridging a gap between two consoles, and it has to look great on both consoles. So you go with a really kind of basic look to it.
yeah, but
Craig, how did you
can't-
just
can't
coming
say-
into my life today? This is amazing. This is exactly the kind of backup I'm looking for. This is fantastic.
Give me the roundup on Twilight Princess.
Didn't I tell Craig to be quiet?
Is that fall into this classic art?
There's a reason why I did not mention Twilight Princess.
That game is not fantastic, but this new game looks like a great modernization of Zelda. I came into this full cynical. This game looks like great. I've been playing Zelda my whole life. I don't give a I don't care about this game. I'm not going to swear on your podcast.
Are you kidding?
I know. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be professional here.
Right.
Anyway, this new Zelda looks like really cool, and I was not sold at all. I played it, and now I'm like kind of sold. Like, it seems really interesting. It seems like a good modernization of a classic, and that's interesting, right? Like, I am genuinely interested by this game after having played, I don't know, what was it, like a half an hour demo or something like that, where I wish I had played way more. They showed me this gigantic area, and they're like, that's 1% of the game. Look at this gigantic map, and I was like, that's actually impressive. I'm genuinely surprised that they're trying to evolve Zelda.
I would really like to see how they're gonna load the rest of the map as you're walking by. If that's
On Wii U, it's probably not going to be great. Let's be clear. But on the NX, hopefully it'll be great, right? Like, it's potentially more powerful than the Xbox One and PS4, and those consoles are relatively powerful, so Hopefully it'll be fantastic on the next console. Who knows? Maybe Nintendo will say something sooner than later. That'd be great.
It's gonna look like the N64 with like clouds in the background, and the draw distance will be really shitty. They'll just put everything's just Hyrule just got really cloudy all of a sudden.
The Breath of the Wild is just fog. That's what it literally means.
It's like Turok 64. You just see a big cloud.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Exactly.
All right, what else?
We went and played the Adult Swim games at
Headlander?
Headlander and Slugcat.
Nope. Rain.
Rain Land?
No. Something. Rain. I don't know. You eat bats and you're a little white thing.
You're like a white cat slug that's eating bats.
Right.
What are you talking about?
It was on the Sony booth. I did
Is that the
see
Sony
it.
booth?
I forgot the name of it, yeah.
Lost in Rain. Anyway, but Headlander is a Double Fine Adult Swim joint, and it's got a Shadow Complex vibe to it. Except it's like a '70s sci-fi art style, and you can launch your head off to basically solve puzzles, and you shoot other robots, and then you land your head where their head used to be, and now you can control them.
Rain World.
No, that's not Rain World.
Rain World.
Oh, okay. You say so. You sure?
Because the premise is you have to keep this slug cat out of the water when it rains.
Of course.
Okay. It was pretty cool.
Naturally.
It was pretty. I got lost. It's one of those things like when you're playing a demo, and you keep coming back to the same room over and over again. You're like, well, doing this wrong.
I can confirm that there is a game called Rain World coming out in 2017 from developer Video Cult.
Thank you.
You got it.
Is that it that we
Google
saw?
it for you.
I don't know. We probably saw some other stuff.
We saw people shooting basketballs.
That was Game of Show.
Craig, did you see that at the 2K booth? There's a oh.
Let me explain it to
Yes,
him. Okay.
you can appreciate
So at the 2K booth for 2K18, is that the next one? 17?
17.
17. I can't keep track of.
2016 right now.
I just can't keep track of how they number them. Like, is this? So they have nothing really. They have a mural of the game, their artwork, but not the game's not like right there or anything. They have a full-size basketball hoop with like a little lane, like really tiny, that you can shoot free throws at.
Okay.
Okay, so you get 2 shots. People are lined up around the corner for this.
Okay.
Probably about 45-minute wait if you start at the backside.
All right.
You get 2 shots. If you make a shot, either the first or the second, doesn't matter. You get whatever the little Chotsky is that they're passing out.
Sure.
Like a little coin or something. If you miss both of them, you get nothing.
Okay.
That is this thing.
That's life.
That is people are lining up for 45 minutes. And
To shoot free throws.
well, I know you're a basketball player. I'm a basketball player. They hand these people the ball, like some of these people. It's like they've never touched one of these things
I've
before.
seen that.
They've waited 45 minutes and they just like rifle the ball up in the air and it like just slam it off the backboard or don't hit rim or anything.
Yeah.
2 times in a row, and that's
They
what
got nothing.
They got
And they have to
nothing.
do three pointers.
They got nothing. They learned nothing about NBA 2K17.
Like, what'd you do when you went to E3? Shot free throws. You know, it's like
Spent 45 minutes shooting a free throw, and then they ran out of the prizes.
And there was still a line. Like, it was like a 45-minute line. There was no prizes. They just
And I
people
guess
were
they
just coming
moved
up.
it. It was originally the free throw line, and they moved it back to the 3-point line because
I
I
don't
guess
know
they
that
were.
they knew the rules. I think you could have gone up and shot a layup, really.
Wait, what was the prize anyway?
It's like a Kobe Bryant coin. Maybe it unlocks something in the game as well.
And then we saw a guy in the Lakers come up, and he just stepped up and.
Missed? Did he miss?
No. Tariq Black came up and acted like a professional basketball player. He like grabbed the ball and went, yep, shot it, swish, no problem.
Complained about his knees, I think, for a second.
Right.
they really pulled in the big dogs with Tariq Black.
No. He just was walking by, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he seemed to just be walking
Yeah,
by.
kind of walked by and went, oh, there's a basketball.
Yeah. He like cut the line. He came in like they just like they waited. He waited like a couple minutes. They handed him the ball. He shot and he left.
That's funny. So it wasn't like a paid.
No.
Probably. He was probably doing something.
Really? He was there for 30 seconds.
He probably was doing something behind closed doors.
Oh, okay.
He could have just been
Something.
going to work. I mean, it's next door. He could
Right,
have been
right,
walking
it's just-
around, right?
yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
I don't know. He went to my alma mater for a little bit before he transferred to Kansas. But
You look sad about that.
we had a lot of people transfer. And nobody in line knew who he was. Right. I don't think anybody even realized there was a basketball player there.
Wasn't he like 7 feet tall, probably?
He's
It's like 6'6" maybe.
It's weird because I expected him to be taller because he's a like a power forward type player. but he was like 6'6" in person.
I think that's it for today, right? Did we see anything else?
You guys didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn, did you?
No, maybe tomorrow.
You should play it tomorrow.
I'm gonna try.
It's pretty cool.
Sounds like a plan. What do you say, Ship? Are we done? Can we eat dinner?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Well, thank you everybody in this room for talking and being fun, and thank you for listening.
Everyone's gonna be like, "This one sucks."
No. I think people will love it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey guys, it's GBD. I'm here with Thorban
Hey, everybody.
and Shipwreck
Hello.
and nobody else. But it's what is it? Thursday?
Yeah, day 3.
It's day 3, but it's day 3 in the morning, so we actually haven't gone to the show yet today. But we're here with Thorban, so he can give us his day 2 wrap up, and also we forgot a few things from our own day 2 wrap up because we had so many people in here last night, and it was a little crazy. So Thorban, start us off.
I went and saw Telltale's Batman. It was really cool. Their meeting room looked like the Batcave, and it was all dark and gloomy and stuff. It's really cool. And they showed gameplay like the first 30 minutes. It's like if you liked Wolf Among Us, you'll like this game. That's the action is like Wolf Among Us, where button prompts and swinging and aiming and things like that. And then when you're Bruce Wayne, it's more like political, make decisions, stuff like that. Like Falcone, you remember him, the gangster? He shows up at Wayne Manor, and like Harvey Dent is running for mayor, and like Harvey Dent's friends with Falcone, and he's helping him run for mayor. So he's like, hey, if you want Harvey Dent to be the mayor, we got to do business together, and you make that decision. We'll see what happens. And then they ended it there. But yeah.
I am interested. I think I want to play this. I like Batman. I know Shipwreck does not like Batman. But,
Did we find out how he became Batman in this meeting?
No, I asked how long he's been Batman, and he said like 2 years. He's kind of a veteran, but not really.
There was no origin story flashback?
No.
Good. Episode 2. Cool. I'm interested in that.
And then I saw Lawbreakers. The reason I wanted to go to see Lawbreakers was just I went to PAX South and watched Cliff Bleszinski do a keynote, and it was really good, and wanted to ask him a couple questions about it. And then Rohan, the guy who used to work with Pactor at Game Trailers,
Yep.
he works for Cliff Bleszinski, and I wanted to ask him about, tell him about how great Game Trailers was, and it was shitty that they fired him like fucking a week after E3 and all that. And he's like, oh yeah. But yeah, I saw Lawbreakers, and if you like the earlier like Unreal Tournament, it's very fast paced. The best part, the thing I like about it the most, is there's a button where you shoot behind you.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like you shoot the button and then the guy like cocks his gun behind his shoulder and then shoots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a rear view mirror?
No rear view mirror.
So you need to use the force to find out if somebody's behind you.
right
Interesting.
here.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah, and
how's it look? I haven't even seen a picture of it.
Oh, it looks good. It looks really good. Yeah. I got a contest going for it, so look for that later.
Cool.
For the closed alpha.
Were you able to talk to Cliffy B?
Yeah, I talked to him.
You did?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I talked to him and all that. And then I saw a game called Flint Hook.
Flint Hook?
Flint Hook, yeah.
Okay.
So people made Mercenary Kings and Scott Pilgrim, and use a grappling hook and run around and have certain powers, and it's really fun.
Grappling hook is the new bow,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Tried Wild Guns Reloaded like you talked about yesterday. That's fun. I looked at Final Fantasy 12 Remaster. Just because I never played it and people say it's good, so I think I'll pick it up. It looks good and has a button where you can double the time for the speed, so you don't have to. It's not as grindy, which is awesome.
That's always the hallmark of a good game is a fast forward button.
Good game design.
Yeah. I saw a game called Too Dark, and it's a survival horror game that's 2D, and it's the guy who made Alone in the Dark, and it's an indie style game. And it looks nothing like I've ever seen before, the art style. What he did is he took voxels, and so you put voxels on a 2D plane. So on a 2D plane, it's a 3D character walking around. Yeah, you'll have to check out video.
Too dark, the number 2 and
dark. Yeah. And then I checked out it was the same kind of place, but a controller called the Nikon GC 400 ES eSport. this PC controller. I mainly took it because I was like, hey, this would make a great contest. Like every like 5th or 10th person is a Twitch streamer or YouTuber
Really?
that follows us. Yeah.
Huh.
So I was like, this
This is a high-end controller, right?
yeah, $120. The big feature about it is the right stick. You can click it to have like a normal right stick, and then you click this button, this middle button or whatever, and it goes into like esport mode. And you can
Just start sending me money.
yeah. And you can control the sensitivity of that right stick, and it's a bigger right stick that's like grooved in there, and like so you have the same accuracy as a PC mouse.
That's crazy.
With the
What
right
is this
stick.
called? Hold on. NACON
Yeah,
is the name of the company. Nacon?
yeah.
Esport
They worked
controller.
on it for 2 years to get it right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Rocco and Frank want to go see VR porn, so we looked at the booth and whatever, and I had an appointment, and but Rocco and Frank went and did the experience, and they told me about it, and they said that they said you look down and you see a big wiener, like it's just like some guys.
So it's very realistic. is what
So,
you're saying.
yeah. It's some other guy's cock you're looking at, like penetrating a woman,
Right. That's
and it's hardcore pornography. at
yeah. Of
E3.
course. I mean, I would expect to see more stuff like that in the future. I think there's a lot of empty space there.
Yeah.
And porn makes money. Porn has money.
Yeah. And then I went over to Perfect World, and they showed me 3 games. Star Trek Online, Neverwinter are coming to consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did is they completely rehauled the control scheme for consoles, and it reminded me of like Dragon Age, where you press like Dragon Age was sort of like made for a computer, and then they kind of ported it. So like it's like those type of controls if you played those games, where you press like L1 and then all the button like change.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that, and with Star Trek Online, they redid like textures and lighting and stuff for PS4 and consoles to make it look more better.
You thought Wombat would like one of those games,
Yeah,
right?
I thought he'd like Star Trek Online or Neverwinter because he loves Dragon Age and Mass Effect, and it seemed a lot like it.
Okay.
And then I went to Tecmo Koei and I tried Attack on Titan, and it's fucking fun.
Yeah?
It's like when you're human, like it's like Spider-Man, and you're running around like fucking you're Spider-Man basically. It's like it's a good Spider-Man game,
Okay.
and you're attacking Titans and things. And how it works is when you attack a Titan, is you press R1 to locate their neck, and then you press square to turbo boost towards their neck, and then time slows down, and then you have to get it perfect. And press triangle, and then you kill the guy. It was really cool. And then there's a Titan on Titan mode, which is like you're playing the best Godzilla game.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Sounds like you're pretty into this.
Oh yeah.
Who's the developer on this? And what games have they made?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I just know it's
I'm
Tecmo
actually
Koei.
looking at.
But the only bad thing is a lot of the textures were like worse than Zelda. Like
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But
I don't expect this to be a AAA game in every fashion.
Yeah.
So if they've nailed the gameplay,
they nailed the gameplay.
that's,
They definitely
okay.
that's
then that's
probably
the
good
win.
enough on this.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely check it out. And I tried Nio, like the tutorial and stuff, and I was like, it looks good and stuff, but I was like done for the day. So I was like, oh, I'm checking out. And he's like, okay, cool. And that's it.
Okay. We forgot something from yesterday.
Yeah, something pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
We went to Deep Silver. You checked out F1 Racing.
I checked out F1 Racing and sat in the little F1 car racing seat setup. That was very fun.
Right, it's like you're sitting in a lounge chair. Like,
But your feet are like almost above your head.
right, like you've fully reclined.
The pedals are high.
You're in a pool chair beside the pool.
But yeah, it was fun. Whatever.
Yeah, it's
That
by
was better.
Codemasters. I didn't realize that the Deep Silvers was in bed with Codemasters now. But we tried out Agents of Mayhem, which was the new Saints Row universe game.
Right. It's the new Volition game.
It's very much. It seems like Crackdown kind of, but more. At least what we played, not as much verticality.
Right.
It's more like arena, not arena, but it's like
It looks like
it's
Crackdown.
It looks like Crackdown, but it's I don't know. Like I can't.
The graphic style is similar in that it's it's like sort of a hybrid between like cartoony graphics and realistic graphics. I mean, like Saints Row. It's
It
a
looks
similar
like
style.
Battleborn, that type of
Right.
look, not with the crazy mushroom guys or whatever,
Right.
but that type of art style. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. It's going for more over the top action rather than over the top comedy. Like it skews more actiony than Saints Row did, but a little bit dials back the goofy humor a little bit. Same tone, overall tone, but
Right.
it's a lot more shooty, lot more shooting.
Right. It's not like it doesn't seem to be an open world game.
It
Is
did.
it? It's hard
I
to
couldn't tell from the demo. From the demo, we were very much playing like a traditional video game level, where you're going and you're clearing out an area, and then you're going into the next area, clearing out that area.
You have 3 different characters you can hot swap between.
That was kind of neat because it's not like the other characters are there. It's not like you're like swapping and then you're in a position where you're
Right.
like you don't
You're
know where
fighting.
you're at.
Right.
It just swaps that character into what.
You teleport in,
Yeah,
basically,
teleport in.
and your old guy teleports out.
Yeah, and I kind of liked the gameplay of it. It's kind of my speed of just shoot, activate specials, switch out characters, activate their specials.
Right.
There's boss battles.
Right.
There was still some stuff that needed to be worked on.
It's not coming out till next year,
Right,
but
right.
I don't know. I kind of think I'd rather have a Saints Row game.
I'm okay if they mix stuff
There's
up.
so many Saints Row games, right? You can,
I know, but I wish they didn't make like a couple of the last ones and then just waited and really put the time and energy into making another like full-fledged game instead of like
Well, one will come and then you'll be like, this is what they're doing now, and
maybe.
And then we saw Killing Floor 2.
Oh yeah,
Which was fun. It's up to 6 players, horde mode basically.
horde mode type gameplay, zombie type guys coming at you.
It was fun to play.
It was fun.
I don't know like how long you stick with that type of game, but
Right. It's been out on PC for a while.
the first one, right? This is coming to PS4. I'm not sure if this is out for PC yet. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, it is a fun co-op game.
Okay. So that's pretty much it, I think, for our day 2 wrap up part deuce. We're going to head over to the show shortly, and then we'll have at least one more of these for you later today with our day 3 wrap up. Thank you. Talk to you later. Hey guys, it's Cheapy D.
hey, it's Thorbon 3, I guess.
And also Shipwreck.
Me as well.
Yes.
It's over.
We're done. We made it.
Done.
It's-
E3 again.
And we pretty much saw everything that didn't take a 5-hour line to freaking or PlayStation app.
basically everything that wasn't giving away a prize to get close to it. That you had to play the game to get the prize.
You can tell, like, Thursday, you can tell when somebody has run out of the prizes.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, like, oh, that game, you can just walk up and play it now because people aren't waiting in line because there's a pile of T-shirts next to it.
Right. That's a little sad.
Dead Rising 4 was that way today.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could basically, you'd have to wait for 1 or 2 people to play.
Yeah.
But you could get near it at
But
least.
you could get near it. Yeah. Capcom ran out of goodies because you could actually walk through their booth today.
So our first stop today was at Nyko.
The Big N.
The Big N, and I know, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Nyko. I don't give a shit about Nyko. But actually, they had 2 cool things this year that I would probably buy. The first one was a charging block that you could connect to other charging blocks, and they had them for PS4 and Xbox One, and you could interconnect them. So if you could,
And you can mix and match them.
you can mix and match
You
them.
can have up to 4 of them
On one chain.
Yeah, or one chain. So it only takes up 1 power spot, but they just like snap together all in a row, and you can have any combination of Xbox One or PS4 controllers, and it supports the Elite.
Yes, it's pretty slick.
And it was only $14.99 for 1 block, and I think
$14.99 for the PS4 block, $19.99 for the Xbox One
Yeah,
block.
yeah.
It's got the battery.
The Xbox One, has the battery that has to be included.
And that was pretty cool, though. It was very slick. And then the second thing It's like they just have been listening to the CAGcast and just made a product that we talked about. It's a combination microphone speaker for your Xbox One and PlayStation 4 controllers.
Yeah, it snaps into the bottom, similar in style to like a chat pad.
Right.
That same kind of form factor. And on the back of both of them, it has a button for push to talk. And it lights up green when you've pushed it and doesn't when you haven't. It's great. I thought the Xbox One, it was a little bit easier to reach that button on the Xbox One because the controller isn't quite as wide.
Okay.
For some reason, your hands sit in that area more than they do on the PS4. The PS4, it felt like I'm going to have to really stretch my hand somewhere it doesn't usually go to,
Right.
to hit this button.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, great. They also had the invisible fence for humans on
Oh my
display.
god. It was funny because the guy gave a very nice presentation. You know, we were in like a little office, and you know, I mean, at least I was genuinely excited about those two products we just mentioned. And then they start going into the VR products, and things start to get a little ridiculous. So yeah, it's a
So on each
I don't know how you describe it.
on each arm, you put on a wristband.
A watch, basically an Apple Watch.
Basically an Apple Watch. Like I sat down and I saw them in front of me. I'm like, oh, what is this device?
They make an
like,
Apple Watch now?
Yeah, like, okay, they have some kind of gaming watch or something now. But so yeah, you put these two things on. Then
Are you eating cashews right now?
I am eating cashews while I'm talking.
Just joking.
It's great. It's
What,
the
are you
last
nuts?
day. Right. They're TBD's nuts. I'm eating cheese BD's nuts as we are talking.
Ouch.
But there are four like little squares, like
Decks of cards. a little
maybe
bigger.
like 2x2 like squares.
Deck of cards is a good comparison.
Yeah. That you then place on the floor around your environment,
Your VR environment.
your VR environment. So you make a square that you play inside of, and then your arms vibrate if you get too close to getting outside of that square while you're playing VR. So you're not knocking over lamps and breaking windows
Right.
and paintings in your house.
Yes, and the reality is that it's not. I mean, it's a silly product that this thing, like someone said, oh, we need to make this product. This fills a need. But the reality is, it does, because I played with the Vive, and it's got those two hand controllers, and even though it has the boundary protection in the visor, so you see like these outline of walls when you get close to them, in the heat of the action, you're going right through those. Like playing tennis, I hit the wall like 3 times.
The funny thing is, I almost, like, they had it set up top in their booth. I almost stepped on one of these things and broke it, like, without being in VR, because it's sitting on the floor.
Right, it's just a box.
It's
on
just
the
a
floor.
box on the floor.
4 boxes.
Right. But, and then the other thing they had, which was also for VR related, was the best. It is an acupuncture bracelet that you put on after you do VR.
No, while you do VR.
While you do,
While you do
okay,
it, yeah.
to help
Can you imagine
regulate
with all
your
these bracelets?
regulate your blood flow so that you don't get motion sickness.
They sell these for boats for people when they go on the boat.
really?
This is a pre-existing.
I know it's a pre-existing
product.
I didn't know.
Okay, yeah, because it probably doesn't work.
I
It's
just
probably
love that
some-
it's marketed
to
towards
VR.
VR. Like, this is a video
Yeah.
game product.
They sell these, like, if you go on a cruise ship or something, or on a
Mm-hmm.
boat, people who get sick, you wear this, or what other, just generally? I mean,
Sure, it's like copper fit.
like a scam, basically.
Right.
So they said, hey, when people get nauseous playing VR, let's just crank these out and write VR on them.
$10.
And I don't know. I already forgot the joke I made.
The voice of
Everybody knows.
lawyer.
No, I made a different joke. Also, I made too many jokes.
You were cracking him up though. He was
I said, "What a world we live in, where
Yeah.
where these products need to exist."
Yeah, come get your Nyko prescription at the
Oh, yeah.
at Walgreens.
Right. It's pretty funny. But they, like I said, they had two pretty cool things there.
They had a lot of cool things there, but those were the two new products.
Yeah. What else?
we went and saw the gem box. Shipwreck really liked the gem box.
Oh, the MTech Gym Box. It's one of these micro consoles. We had a whole presentation on it.
It's an Apple TV connected to the
What's-
Google universe,
Yeah, it's not Apple TV, but
but
it's,
I'm
yeah,
describing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They know it's actually
Android.
smaller than
It's
an Apple
Android-
TV.
Yeah, it's really like what's fascinating to me is like how much they can get into these boxes.
It's crazy,
now.
right? It's like
Yeah.
It's like smaller than a deck of cards. That one, I mean,
Right.
it's just a square.
It's just a little square.
It
But
streams Dirt 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it does the streaming through GameFly. It does
Their own Steam
Android
Link.
games.
They have their own Steam Link solution.
Gym Link, where it does Steam Link basically, but it can also play like your Ubisoft games and your Origin games and everything.
Right.
It does Netflix.
Right. It has any app that you can get off the Google
Right.
store.
It has emulators.
It had a decent controller.
It did have a decent controller.
They said, "Look, we tried to copy the Xbox
They
controller."
did the thing with those controllers usually is like somebody hands you one and they got all the buttons and everything.
Everything's in the right spot.
Everything's in the right spot. That's not the hard part. It's
Right.
that when you hit the analog stick or the D-pad,
Feels like garbage.
It usually feels like garbage. This one, neither one felt like garbage. They had like some resistance to the analog sticks and everything. The whole thing's $99. I think that's a good price point for this if you're in the market for one of these media like players, Android things.
It's not really our market, but like out there, if like you have a sister who has like kids and she's like, "Oh, Billy wants to play video games, but the PS4 is too expensive," just tell her to get a gem box, basically.
It's because you can get all those free Android games on there.
Yeah, it's kind of like I know there's these other.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, but they're just so small now. It's just like
It's crazy. It was like the newest Apple TV is bigger than the last model, and this is like a half the size of that, I guess.
but they're so cheap too. Like it's $99 with a controller.
Right.
Like I don't think they're going to sell a version without the controller because the controller has that thing too where it can go into mouse mode.
Right. You can select.
Either mouse or gamepad mode.
It was pretty interesting.
And I kept commenting on how British he was because he was British.
Right.
So he called.
That's what he was looking for during his presentation.
Yeah. He called the.
Hey, did you know you were British?
Yes. He called his controller a joypad, and I was like, I haven't heard that. Like, it's very.
That he probably thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and then like the games were Peggy 3.
Right. That he probably didn't think was interesting.
And then he showed us Dirt 3, and I'm like, man, you're showing it. And he's like, I worked on Dirt 3, that's why I like showing it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, yeah, see, you're putting British all over this thing.
He's a British guy. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
That's where it's from.
That's what he knows. What else? Oh, then we played a bunch of games at in the Devolver area.
Yeah, there was this weird dick butt game.
I believe it's called Genital Jousting.
Oh, Genital Jousting is what it's called. Okay.
So yeah, it's you're a penis and an asshole.
And balls.
Yeah, penis, balls, and asshole sliding around
There's
on the
not
floor.
much playing with the balls.
No.
I was surprised that you don't get to control the balls. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Right? It was just a one-stick thing.
Yeah, it all
goes together.
controls together.
So you've got to get your dick in the other player's ass.
Or your own ass.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
once you grow long enough, like it's
Right.
short rounds and
You grow.
yeah, there was an interesting thing that happened while I was playing. This guy came up and he had like a controller, but like the joysticks were dildos.
Like an arcade controller?
Yeah. And they were big dildos. And the guy comes up and he's like, "We can't have them here because you're in the background of Twitch, and Twitch, blah blah." He's like, "Oh, okay,
No dildos on Twitch.
okay." And he took the dildo controllers away. But man,
Back
they're
home.
Yeah.
like it almost. Do you need to get like your game is already like penises everywhere?
Right.
Do you need to have the dildo controller?
No, we get it.
Like
we get it. It's
got
it's outrageous. It's already outrageous.
We got it, guys.
Right. How about the name of the game somewhere near it? They forgot to put the sign up that said what the game
And
was.
the-
Or have somebody staffed near it.
The controls are interesting too because it's 8 players, but like it's 4 players on one controller. So
2 players on one controller.
4 players on one
You can
controller.
use both analog sticks, the D-pad, and the buttons.
Yeah.
Each one of them can.
Yeah.
These guys are. It's the guys who made Broforce.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
Okay. All right, that was a game. I don't know where that's coming out. Steam, I guess.
Walmart.
Yeah.
You want to go pick that up at Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Rock of Ages 2. It's a racing game now, and it was pretty interesting. We saw Lego Dimensions. You could just walk up to it.
Yeah, if you don't care about getting the figure, then you can walk right up and play the game.
If for some reason you're there to play video games, you can just walk straight up and play the video game.
And you don't have, they're not giving something away to play that video game. In this case, you had to watch a presentation to get the Lego figure.
Right. You had to you had to watch a movie and wait for 2 hours, watch a movie, and then you got the Lego figure.
Yeah.
Or
Walk right up and play.
walk right up and try the game.
And not get any figure. But touch some real figures.
Right.
That
right.
actually
I
are just
get
available.
it. But it's just
Right.
what
Put that part of...
This goes back to my carnival idea.
It's great.
Of
It's
E3.
brilliant.
Just one whole hall
Talking
full
shit.
of carnival games.
Well, Thorbon's buddies now with the ESA guy since he got him in here.
Yeah.
We're gonna send this his way.
Because that's really what all it is.
Yeah.
For the most part. It's just waiting in line to get your tchotchke. Like,
Yeah.
there's
I think it would be nice to just the general feeling on the show floor would be a little less tense, maybe.
Yeah.
There's more room to move, and you're not annoyed when there's like a line of people waiting to throw a basketball blocking you.
right, and I mean, I don't know. It creates like
They want
press around the,
lines.
but at the same time, like, what is that line giving you? It's just like,
You can take a picture of it and say, look how many people want to play our game.
I know.
but it's not. You can look at if you take that picture and you go, well, why is there nobody playing the game right here at this
Yeah.
kiosk?
Right.
There's this huge line, and there's a
Right.
kiosk right here with nobody playing
That
the
is
game.
pretty inexplicable.
Yeah.
That one. I don't know. Everyone has their own way of giving out the freebie, right? Sometimes you got to play the game. Sometimes you got to take a picture with somebody and do this. Sometimes they just say fuck it and hand you the thing.
But we got to look at Mr. T. What did you think of Mr. T?
I like Mr. T.
Yeah.
My parents wouldn't let me watch A-Team, so I only had to, wait till I was older to enjoy Mr. T.
We did play the game. It is
It looked
exactly what you think it is.
Yep.
Shipwreck played as Tom Cruise.
They didn't have there wasn't a great selection of the characters I was looking for in the kiosk that we were at. Like
Right.
they had
Adventure Time,
I don't
Tom Cruise.
Batmobile and the Ghostbusters mobile.
Harry Potter, but it didn't have any of the characters that I would be specifically after. Like if
Right.
I went to a store, these were not the characters I would be buying.
Knight Rider. Where's Knight Rider? That's going to sell hundreds.
And then Shipwreck checked out Story of Seasons, which, if you don't know,
I don't know.
It's kind of like a Rock Band and Guitar Hero, where the people who made Harvest Moon are the Rock Band people, and then Natsumi is Guitar Hero, basically. So Shipwreck checked out Story of Seasons, which is from the people who made
Is that the Guitar Hero or the Rock Band?
the Rock Band. Yeah, the Rock. Yeah.
So Harvest Moon, there was like a difference in how they wanted the series to go, and people left.
It could have been. I don't know what the details were.
Right.
I'm sure the details are out there on the internet.
Right. I'm sure it's a fascinating tale.
Right. Yes, a story.
How was the game?
Story of Seasons. It's more like the older Harvest Moons. Like I feel like the Harvest Moon, the one that has the Harvest Moon name now.
Right.
Like they seem to be going in a slightly different, more modern progression. Where if Story of Seasons is just straight up classic, the same Harvest Moon game they've been making for 20 years.
Right. All right.
Yep. And then I checked out Hatsune Miku game, the new one.
Oh.
Yeah, the reason I checked it out though was because people on CAG love Hatsune Miku, and
There's lonely people.
There's a lot of people like that. There's a whole country with people like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and whenever I post the Hatsune Miku game on sale, it's fucking
Oh my god.
yeah.
That was my impression.
But yeah, it's
Hatsune Miku.
a rhythm game. I played it for 5 minutes, and okay, I'm done. So I just wanted to see what it was all about. I tried The Calling, which GPD recommended. I was like, go check that out because it's on Steam right now. But they had it for the Xbox One. It's coming to Xbox.
It's Hunger Games.
Yeah,
But
Hunger Games.
did you like it?
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
It's cool because the game's gonna last about 15 minutes when you play, and it's just it is suspenseful. I mean, not when you play it on the show floor, it's not, but when you're sitting at home and playing, it's you start out with nothing and you're basically hunting each other with it's multiplayer.
Yeah. And then I made Shipwreck go check out Flint Hook, which I think he really liked.
Yeah, Flint Hook was cool. You spoke about it earlier, but the controls are spot on. It's a fun little platform.
Nice art style.
Yeah, nice art style. There's enough complexity to it to keep it interesting with the slow motion, the grappling hook, and everything that's going on.
Yeah. And then we checked out Steep, which reminded me of how we were talking about Farming Simulator. it kind of reminded me of that. Like I want to go be a snowboarder, and you just sort of go snowboard, or you want to just
There's different jobs, right? There's different sport jobs.
Sport jobs. I got to go be the flying squirrel guy. I got to go
Flying. I don't think that's what that's called. What's that called?
Wingsuit.
wingsuit. I gotta be
Same concept.
I gotta be the wingsuit guy. But like I kept waiting for them you guys were behind me playing it, and I was playing it with I kept turning around making sure you guys were done, or so I was like
The guy wouldn't let us stop playing.
yeah,
basically,
yeah.
It wasn't that. It
wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it a little bit.
It's a little rough right now.
It's a little rough. It needs, with all the different things you do, basically there's a whole bunch of events on the mountain, and you have different racing events, different styles of racing events. You have trick events, and then you have the skiing or the snowboarding or the wingsuit stuff. And it's a nice setup. Like, the mountain was fun. Right. It controls pretty well. I just don't know, doing tricks. This isn't SSX.
No, it doesn't feel anything like SSX.
No.
No. That's a fun. I had fun playing that game.
SSX.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was hoping that this was SSX sort of, and it's really not at all.
It's more like I said, more farming simulator is what it kind of.
I know what you mean. I mean, they're trying to make a realistic skiing game.
Yeah.
And it's certainly if you compare that to an arcade skiing game, it's not as exciting for most people. I think.
The guy, he wear headphones, and the guy kept telling me instructions and things, and after a while, I got
the demo guy.
The demo guy. So I got bored, and I just kept flying into a pole. And fucking seeing how I can die and stuff. I was just like, oh, cool, I can die this way, I can die this way. He's like, what you need to do is I was just like, just let me play the way I want to play until they're done behind me.
Did you say that, Tom?
No. I wasn't an asshole. But
I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't done.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I don't
It is in the form right now where I can see that they could potentially polish
it's coming out this year.
I know, that's the worrisome part.
But you don't know how old that demo is either.
Right. So it was close enough that it seemed like it could get pushed across the finish line and get everything to where it was something that people would enjoy.
Or not.
It could also go in that direction.
And then I tried Bound on PS4 and the Sony place, and that was a weird, something struck me about that game. It was kind of odd. The lady's mother and something, and has a weird art style that's very low polygon, and she walks around like a ballerina. When you jump, she does a ballerina jump, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this game. I'm going away.
It's a platforming game?
Yeah, I think so. And then I played Shantae, and Shantae is good. It's a way forward platforming game. So if you liked DuckTales Remastered or any of the games they played, you'll like it. Shipwreck tried Sonic
Boom Fire and Ice.
What?
Have you been keeping up with the Sonic Boom television show, Chibi?
Oh, have I? Yeah. It's one of my top shows.
Okay, I think there's been 52 episodes, I believe, so far.
Wow.
This is essentially the 53rd episode, so it picks up right where that leaves off.
The show's off the air? Or you're saying?
No, it's like a Hulu show or something, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's surprisingly good, Sonic Boom. It's more back to 2D style. I think it's a little bit too cumbersome with the controls. You don't need the upwards dash type stuff when you're playing Sonic.
Right.
But the whole Fire and Ice thing is this is a 3DS game, and so the right trigger changes you from being Fire Sonic or Ice Sonic, and there's different parts as you're running through the level where you need to just switch back and forth between the two, and it seems like it's a Sonic game that wants to go fast. So that's good. It's you want to constantly be just going fast and quickly switching through the level and getting through the level. It's not one of these things where you're stopping and exploring and talking to people and all that. So, yeah.
Does Sonic talk every 5 seconds?
No, what I played, there was literally no talking. I started a level. I played through the end of the level. I thought, hey, this is a pretty well done platformer. It's never gonna. People are never gonna like it as much as the Genesis Sonic games or Sonic CD. It's never gonna happen again. But
did you like Sonic? Did you like Sonic Rush?
Sonic Rush.
The DS game.
It was okay.
Okay.
I would say like if you like Sonic Generations, that this is in a similar like
That's pretty
amount
good.
of quality.
That's pretty good.
Right. So I think this is from what I played one level, I could see what they were going for, and it seemed quality.
That's it, I think.
All right. What's our takeaway? What's our E3 2016 top points?
PlayStation conference is what I liked a lot.
Was that your favorite part of the show?
That was my favorite.
That was the most. Well, if you had Last Guardian, yeah. I mean, that was just a great presentation.
Yeah.
That was a really tight video game presentation
That was,
and entertaining.
that was probably my favorite of the whole week.
Wow. So it was like all downhill after
Yeah.
Monday.
So once E3 proper started,
It was all
it was
downhill.
all downhill.
Before even. It was Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like
right,
once
right.
that's
Right.
I don't know. Like we've been to so many of these.
Yeah, no, I can't really think of anything that's like my
that stood
favorite.
out.
But I mean, what do you think about like the overall theme of the show? Like
The theme of the show,
Struggling.
struggling
yeah, the theme of the show is everybody's streaming
like,
something.
all the time. People just walking,
GameSpot stream, Twitch stream,
just people
IGN
walking,
stream,
just people with cell phones walking down the aisles
Yeah.
doing Facebook Live on selfie sticks.
stream.
Yep.
VR porn. You know, like they have so much space, they just gave up and were like, okay, porn people, you can come in.
There's gonna be more porn next
Oh,
year.
definitely.
I mean,
after people see those pictures of
with all the
that,
lines.
with that line,
Yeah.
it's complete.
I think it's overall. It's just everything's kind of in a transition period that nobody's quite sure what's going on with video games. You've got Nintendo, who have a dead console. The most popular game of E3 is a game that's on a dead console that nobody owns.
Right.
We don't know much about their next console. You have Microsoft with this whole Xbox One thing
Windows.
going on now.
You heard about Halo 6, right?
No.
Phil Spencer said Halo 6 will be an Xbox One, Windows 10.
Well,
Yeah.
everything.
Everything is, everything.
There's
will
no
be.
there's no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have Xbox that's in this transition period as well. Like they have this thing just on the horizon for 2017 that's going to supposedly not replace, but it's replacing what's there.
Right.
You have Sony who have their new thing coming. You have
So the show can't be dying.
you have
man.
VR.
You have a lot of shit coming
You have
down
so
the
much
pipe.
VR that nobody can. You talk to everybody, and nobody's like gung ho on VR. They're like, maybe this is the path stuff is going.
Yeah, but everybody's got VR
Everybody's
something,
got
but
it.
no one's got a
Nobody's
triple
got a clear,
tier thing.
Nobody's got a clear vision of what video gaming is in 5 years.
No.
No,
No.
I can. Yeah, that's on. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be these like incremental console upgrades for a couple more. For 5 years, I think that's going to be like that. But maybe soon after that, I don't know. It all depends on the streaming, the quality of game streaming. You know what we can do, streaming. Cloud streaming. You have all the games on some server somewhere, like GameFly streaming, and we just run it off that. But I don't know. I think
A lot of good games right here.
plenty of good games.
Yeah, a ton of good games. We finally hit our stride in this generation that
Right.
is getting cut off short.
Yeah, I mean, all those PlayStation exclusives looked like pretty next gen, whatever that means.
Odd that The Last Guardian still was not like playable.
Yeah. Free shirt. That's the best shirt of E3.
Right, the free Last Guardian shirt.
All you had to
Maybe.
do. All you had to
Depends what it says on there. We don't know. It's in Japanese.
all you had to do was
I am dumb whitey.
Frank and Rocco told me this. People had to. There was an interactive projection of the Last Guardian dog thing, and it's like, oh, you want to take this barrel and interact with it, but
You got to move some shit around, and they give you a prize, basically, in
Yeah.
real life.
yeah, but like Rocco and Frank said, you just walk up to the guy and say, "Can I have a voucher?" And he just gives you one.
And he got a free
Welcome to
T-shirt.
Carnival Hall.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Kensha Hall is sitting there, fucking empty. It's big down there. You can do a lot of shit down there.
That's how you get the public involved with this thing. Like,
Dude, we're
here's your
solving problems here.
Carnival public.
What do we call this? E3 Live? What was it with the E3 Live?
Right.
Just call that shit down there.
I did see they claimed 20,000 people attended E3 Live.
What?
I haven't seen anybody attend it.
There's people down there, but it's not 20,000.
Over 3 days.
50,000 people attended E3.
50 or 70, I thought.
50.
You said. Oh,
No,
50.
when I said 70 before, it was the 50,000 there
Oh.
added to the 20,000 that they said were at E3 Live.
How do they know they aren't the same people? Some of them.
There is no way that was 20,000 people at any time at E3 Live.
No.
Well, if it was a giant carnival giving out free video game T-shirts, they would have a lot more than
We forgot
20,000.
to talk about the Doritos thing.
Oh, we went to the Doritos Mix Arcade. It smelled like Doritos as soon as you walk
Yeah,
in.
it was hot.
It was so.
Really, really
it smelled like hot Doritos when you. It was pretty amazing.
It seemed like they were like pumping the nacho cheese through, not the air conditioning.
powder.
They replaced the air conditioning with just fans that blew the nacho cheese powder.
I think there was just a big bowl of Doritos in the back somewhere with a fan behind it,
Yeah.
just blowing it into a vent.
and then they had the people in Dorito chip outfits.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
And they were like
like-
playing real life Space Invader. I don't know what was going on there, but it was hot.
I played some skee ball and some pinball.
And then we got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I did not eat any. Nobody ate Doritos in our posse, but a lot of people were eating Doritos there.
Oh yeah, they sat down and they were. Yeah, it was like a Dorito nachos and cheese and Doritos in a pouch, and had a fork and they were eating them.
It's an interesting marketing thing where, like, nothing that was on sale, like, for video games wise.
No,
Like,
it was only Doritos.
It was all just like retro stuff in there.
They must do this around the country
just-
in various places. I don't think this was just for this.
No, I think it.
Some of it was,
Some of it
but I
was.
think like the games, some of the games in there, I feel like maybe I don't know, what the hell do I know?
Why not?
I don't even eat Doritos. How do I know?
We had to walk around it all week. I know that. Like, it's right in the middle
Right.
of where you used to walk.
It's good at blocking your path and making you walk farther. All right, I think we're out.
Everybody eat some Doritos because everybody knows it was there.
Right. Get that. Yeah, well, I wonder where that money goes. Where does that Dorito money go? Not to.
Jeff Keighley's house.
No, he's not involved in that.
Oh, he's not.
He wasn't. He was doing YouTube, so he actually was not involved in it.
He was not even setting it up or anything.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe he like brokered the deal or something.
Right, maybe.
Dude, I hope he's getting that Dorito money because that looked like a big operation right there. All right, I think we're gonna go to the Dodger game tonight. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be interesting. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening to this week's E3 action. We'll see you next week.
Well, not me, but
Not you. Thorbon's going to start his own podcast, maybe.
no.
Or not. Okay.